Makram. Odobi shodomu, Adiba shodomu, waiting na minkwa, that day, na minje. Odonido, Odobi shodomu, Adiba shodomu, Senyu weda, minkwa, na minje. Odobi you, Ozo fata, and crewmate. Ebrebia, member Gromano, Saste she way na miti, into also for feeding tour, the table what Data Kennedy, Makram.
Promoter a grasswork was say I didn't go and Yansa Reggie. I didn't go and Yansa. 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 That's not good, that's my answer. Me go be in Chelsea, to rest where me Chelsea. I can see answer, we say, hey, answer away. And she answer, I pay now to argue you. Yansa Tontoma, there be an order question. I want to know my crew, a prayer of Coco. And no man of Babu, who free Yansan to maybe. And was any say, they did not watch your own medic. And just say, and just as for the crew. If you now watch it, or gone into no macromo, set all God in his car, and so Marian was sent. When you're deep and pro. When you're not into your pet, when you're not into your pet, it's in the money of the tomorrow. It's on your real one, yes, I stand for the crew. I didn't go, and I stand for. I didn't go, and I stand for.
Adronko Ana Jansa and Sonko Legendary Akwasi Ampo Wajena Mutin and Kano Tekrema and Broda Obwa Now to new media lecture say Yasaba all of our life dream so na ye banso dia ne aba ye banso dia ne aba nene yaba yet why and Comodia now what you train with your chassis and so. And I want you train with your chassis about Como FR and Quadia home. And we believe a kind of salvation. It is a very huge concept in the Christian fraternity. And you are one Quadiana. Now, what you tell me in your very, very interesting submissions. Very, very, very interesting submissions. And you could be a heaven and a hell and come with dear home. Yes, I'm Cassio. Ambassador for Christ was on your own quadruple or salvation. Nasa no salvation or one. And so did this Jesus Christ to Abi wajo bonne nkwa dia. Say uji di say Jesus Christo. Abi wajo bonne nkwa dia. Oh, praise the Lord. Wonya nkwa je. And the silent here the so bad and an nkwa je o. Body nana no get salvation upon all his critical thinking, no salvation party or body any be. And I had to ask salvation part 2. Na many opening kase be twetwe nkomo over the week. Na me busane se enye bia opening kase salvation eh dey ba dey. Ono so nti asemu no. Or say your only salvation is your evolved soul. Hey. We dey just say Bema kufi danso na be chirichiri mu. I'll see your only salvation is your evolved soul. Neje senye jidi asemu. Enye jidi asem kura na ye ka ho asem sisi a. Esan say a soul does not evolve just by faith or belief. Adwuma kase pa. I'll say your only salvation is your evolved soul. What do you say? I'll say I drink on a yansanko. And ye be those I drink no hapa. Brother can come with 0208 144 8180. And now say a Google Meet link no any useful. Senso over United States and in Canada. And here we need to 315-636-4063. 315-636-4063. Nebra, we can come salvation part 2. Enkwaje. Obada na aba. Nti enkwa ahoma ne so na ye no obada na na enhyase e monkomo. Obada na na ho.
Baba.
Na empom ti say.
Ya jana do marakwa. Ye ho ye. Ndai. What do you sorry na? Mo jari dia husan dia. Sana dia yo wa fanisa.
Let us say yes you know what do ni me wa. Me
ni me yesu no.
Hey, obalana. Oh, Yesu ahwe so ama
Yesu nhwe nipa so. Yesu wo ma asase so ne nipa te so ntina nipa ya hu no a. But the concept of Yesu no. Ehwehwe aso nana. Because ena nano meka metukuni mu no. Metukuni mu se obofo no ena ma ye hu se de mere be wo no ofiri nyame kwa na se ye ne ayadwene. Se ye obofo no ena ma ye hu no ne ye hu the sign no dia. Obofo so wanto ne din Yesu, wanto ne din Jesus Christ. It will from the Yesu. They have to answer that. Na Emmanuel no so afa hene. Ye me de pese me hu no. Say Emmanuel no na nipa di na chia na ye hwa no asa mereba no me ni hu problem because ye say bofo and the kai na ye nyina nipa ya je di. But say nipa diverted that Emmanuel no. Abe ye di Yesu ti say Yesu we no so hwan na share no ho kom. Say Yesu we no. It's something that we have to think. And you my boy say I don't know nyansanko. Salvation ya na wokan. Say Yesu we ajo nkwa. And I would say Yesu we ajo nkwa. Well, and you I believe, but men they mean believe because ono mu na nkasa kwa some more kind we need so. I'm for sorry I no mo frɛ bawilaya. Nipa bebre liar. O say Yesu no mo kan wan kaso okọ akosi etrabia. O promise Yesu afọ no. No o mo hia. No ati mo kan mo nya we na mo fan ka me. Na trabia bibi wo magya fie me kono makosi esi nya san ka man kan jem. Na ba bia me wo ma ba be fa mo. Ukọ Ghana na ukọ promise wo fa asefo se me ba be fa makọ UK. Na wan kwa wo be kono mo awuwu a. Wan ga after mo wu achi o. Woni me ne wo kasa na me ka choche o. Mo wu achi no. Mo ba baby am why you different. Asa na me economy ko tiesie na baby am won ma be fa makọ. Eye instant. So ade bi wo ye kan. Yo nipa trans na dwene say me no wo kasa no. Me kan ede bia asama na me kan present ade. Asama no woni atuafo ne kan wan kan jon say ho mu wuwu ansa. Wan kan sa. So ti ase. Asuafo ni nyina wu. Peter cry ye the son ne pa ni mu say on de nem jena ni wu no cry we ho cha Yesu de no. Eti eniema bi wo ho no mo a ese ye tenase ne ehun se well media ma tenase na ma dwene ade atisi so me dwene eniema ne nsisi so John the Baptist no obofo Gabriel kro no okoka che Elizabeth no ayi anyi ani no Ezekiel also ana Ezekiel or Zachariah one of that I'm say Ezekiel what to mu no o ya wo akola ne senche ne ma ye hu ma no ba mu ni se papa no fra so de ma to mu wo mre kwa no wo piche o gina puppet so wo ye san wo de pone asore no but ada ye wo ne ba no na no te wo twere ne bandi din no that's a sign wo twere ne bandi din no wie ye so ye be frɛ no say no ampa so akola no aye din ansesa besinde we sa bofo kure ya na koka kire Mary nti sa bofo no na no ye mienu Osi wo wo oba benyi ne be frɛ ne Emmanuel ase kye ne sɛ twa di ampo Nyankopɔn no ne mo wo ho ne ye da so te ho nti ne wasom obi amana bɛka ye ho wa ha afa de ai concert na yira kra ye nim ye Emmanuel no kra bi ye moso adane Jesus Christ it me no dey that's my and am me nyini because ase yasesa ade no esenke ye di akire no ase yasesa na mame Jesus wo mo kyerɛ say bia me de kwaku manu ya me de wo say ya mbedu abroche ya ye frɛ me ade bia na Jesus ye be kyerem say bia Yesu otu kwa akọ Egypt no anka ye penaku no he ansese ne din no Emmanuel no bia anka Pharaoh be kunu ana bibisa na ye sesa no Jesus wo mo kyerem otase ne ye nkyerem pa ma ye hu de ye ya Jesus Christ no ba ye dia ena ne time kra na the letter J nso ni alphabet mu kra mpo the den na samre no obenya Jesus enti nana aye asem sebe na nkwaje no aye ka no twesem no wo aka om se Yesu awu age nkwa ba twesem no wo yi ba bia na wo afa twesem no anso se hwe mikra makatua me de bro bia se de na adwuma sitie wanka se Yesu na ebe defend wo adwuma wo ti azazi su na odi ewu wo ko an robe wo di nkwase asem a eno ne ye hwe so obi nso te ha no ye papa wenya sika no de abo ahiafo ekunafo odidi ma obi bidia ono ne de ne ye hwe so no one so could dear no we are no and yes yes mo je be defend wa wo we are na sa be defend will be on so ye papa and then ka fe no kan ye nyina ye nwumai enti twasam no a wo mu di ache no se ya wo mo nkai wo se hwe me di kra makatua na mere bantem me di bro bia se di wadwuma anka se yesu na ebe ye wadwuma ma anka se yesu na ebe yi wa free bibia mu wa anyi wadwuma ya obi metia no mo ya sesi ame no kaza metie ho no mu security me di wo chema nkakra ehun akatua na ye de be ma me obi so ye yi support work ehun akatua na obeje obi so wo bank obi ye nurse obi ye doctor eti saja Christopher afa ne say yesu no ni concrete yi ma wo mo no a wo mo bibia okọ carry dia kwa ma wo no em say tino ono say no kra ka che on say mo be do ma ka je minimo because they don't understand o mo ntene ye me bi kra ase de wura na o mti na chi no obi ba so say obekwa ko yi Timothy ehu yesu da Timothy woni yesu anante ena Timothy no so na won konkon won so awayare na ne yefun kika no ade na Paul no wokọ seek advice afri ne ho ama Paul aka che ne se ne yefun kaka nti no wonom sade kaka ke se won konkon na ka che no ana san ka na se tumi bi e hye ni mu no e ma no hu ne so wo ye ne wo de sa ne ho yade but wokọ Paul ho Paul so yefun kika Paul odu ba bi so di a wo suro nkrofo wo ho no anhwa wo mu bebrim no sese no wokobra wo mu nsa sensa no munye but the one in namne de on the twa de ano odin kakra because say yefun yade wo no so because when they was study no hu say hey wo bokora wo mpira no you see kalabule ni azani bibi efri hey na last bi no me ni madam fu bi ka say na me say azan efri o efri comfort anochi eye na manie nyina wase wo ka asantefo abom na wo manya ohene ba ko no adan na ankosi mampon hene so ankosi obi aso kosi kwayi o se tutu eye na danfo ne ne nam eye na danfo wonu opeso odi nkrofo so opeso wo ka manfo nyina na wode na be hye wo mase because wo ko hunu ba bi na wone na nam an wode na ba ene wo so wo ba wo tumi wo ba be kan ya bom na wa ye yi ahemfo ne nyina atwa ahia atanase wo command amatika gwa no free soro aba eba enti corruption here chance enya no ahụ kora konfano che wa koroto because ahimfo no wo ho no mo no sam na mampo hene bantman hene ofenso hene dwabe hene hwan hene no nyina atwa ahia enso na damfo no twotwo mu twone no koba o wie ya wase okay madi wo mo so de ne onso ko dwabe ayi ko agona na onso ko di hene wo wo infront antimamu na o man no baayi ahini so wo baabi eti corruption the word corrupt no nana efiri ase ache France yache enti media kakra metimi aka ne se emre duru se ye critical thinkers wadwe no anya media ma no mane na wutirim na wa fa dwene niema bi ma niema bi nsisi so ma e ma obi nwene ma me media ya mekan men kasa fa me media ne se ye concrete evidence se so onso tie me ma wo wadwene kasa nkyerɛ so wadwene kasa kyerɛ wa nana ne se wo ya ade bi na ye mistake a etisu how but wo be tufo no be cho say yes ya na say ade no kwaye wrong way to me how sa say kana mpese me ye ni say yo won say na wakoma na waka che na nka say ka ye ni say na okotie jitem bia na how but so wa wo ye na ye fault a na e how kura nche na fruit eti media me kana me nka say fa no concrete but media dem afa no as a concrete evidence for me eti won so no de wadwene no e dawtrim ma ne nye adwuma ma wo say enkoba say ene obi ekotwa obi board ya ama won de yakoje no 14 years na won so se nipa dom 12 edwon kosi obi abrofo mo wan kan kyen maboja na mo de mo dia that time no ho fa ho adi na akọ na ka kyen se won se nipa de wa nwia da ho boni bia ni ne ho na mo na de otwa obi board ya no edi na kotum de won de yekrofo a na it doesn't sound well to me.
Okay, all right.
Because and then what you no ko no oni atuafo du mienu ko si obi afo mu wi aburo ko ka straight ko de no be kwa koma principal straight nipa mienu ma bojafunu ma wi aburo yedwe obi awe 33 kwa 36 betem na ni 36 duro lo nka o enti nana kakra metimi aka ne se wa o fi se ono na ebe je nkwa na emomo no wawu ato hɔ ama Ɛnyɛ bɔne ma me nyame na me nso na me bɛgye wo nkwa. Me madwuma a meyɛ na ɛgye me nkwa. Nti wowɔ adwuma a woyɛ no sɛ wode ɔnhwɛ so nyɛ. Na afi sɛ Yesu no na bɛ defend wo di bɔne sɛ deɛ no yɛ akora no a wonya paa mu ka sɛ me kra na magye nkwa ne Yesu ne bɛ save wo a. It's up to you because obi a wɔ ne so. Nti wo so no sɛ saa na wo de wo pɛ sɛ Yesu edu ɔno wo fail a ɛnde ɛnyɛ masɛm. Ba me deɛ menim ne sɛ wo nnwuma wadwuma a wobɛyɛ wɔ asase so no ɛho akatua ɛna wɔgye.
Okay, all right then. Obade yɛbɛde wase ɛwɔ initial nhyɛmu a wɔyɛ dɛ bɛyɛ wode ama yɛn no yɛbɛkɔ Brako fi so if Brako fi so ane akɔ na sika so Brako fi
Hello, Papa.
Saboko de
Boko, we dear for sorry. Menya some kata bikakra. I just lack of sleep in the last few days into the voice. I know you're a bit croaky, but somewhat in Candia, I'm happy to be here, Pa. Yes.
Na kata no ani flu nana and I different.
Charlie, I've been named a difference with more. Charlie, that be my only illness in this life, and thank God to that. At least once a year, be there some small cold be they come. After that, then we are free to do so. I call it my cleansing period.
Yeah. Me ka say Ghana no na unya sa bia ne wo pro code on.
Me tis I would not say yes, pro code. Okay, wow.
Ana no more back another code back bi so ho. Another one code back bi so ho. Anyway, yeto nkan de na just say bit ma to adwumadi no so fefe, right?
Always. And Mr. Alex, me pese obo ufie din kire me pa metio na waka you've waka makoma me pacho ufie din at the same.
Obade nana.
Okay, me fie din me maame ene papa de to me de osai akwasi na omo wo me ne tete ho no yase na ye dabone on sa tete ho no omo di kwasidenti na ye kwasidenti no ya de ade ne so ntu wonse nkwala abrem no ya wo ne yase wo de ade no a omo de huruwa na omo ya ade ne ade yoyo nti no enam za wo mpe no na asa wusu nti na abeka ho nti no me fa ne sa ade no ankasa de amanfo ni me mo nti no o hwa ade no na abrochi nyina akra na ewo me krata so me ko school nyina ade but me fie din pa dem de osaya kwasi
me da wase pa nti si ishia metumi fro bra osaya kwasi
ana brade nyina.
Okay, brade, thank you so much. Na brade me pa cho we say and some now all kind of dream wo ho.
That's right.
Said o expressing no. Bet me expressing wo English more said me expressing it wo dream wo. But me pese me busa say he fan na unya umume free. Efie ebusua anase ebia or himfie anasa himfie na unya we say e free. Any history no.
History. Well, history with school. Okay. I'm go school now. My best subject is history and geography. Me here to call elementary. To one elementary, then I want to try the parent and say, and I'm here and I'm call secondary school. Crab 1 year. I want to me yes, I see history and geography. No, I'm yeah, and me brase minya secondary school. No, I'm me coach Kumasi Technical Institute, KTI, and I'm call electrical engineering technician. Ndi me free one na me de call Poly. Ndi me wie Poly no anaja. The first year service, and your mom is why I didn't back to Germany. Me yeah, my first year service, and my second year service, and I'm the best Germany. A few hundred the yaka a contumer will be best a baha.
It we say knowledge in any unyansa any
you know
church and inspiration different for never.
Well, I can. They met me a kaka say sometimes. Niana, I do much at DB, and a bit, yeah, I do much at DB or Honoma. On them, I tell you, Honoma, mean who said a missing canoe. And I'm saying, yeah, history and geography instant. Yeah, I'm a tie a history and geography book. A kinkai. ɛna me sɛ tu kwan kakra nso mbɛduru Germany no saa mmerɛ na agya yɛabra Jehovah Witness Lawrence nti agya no na yɛde bɛtena mu nti na ɛsɛ mede me ho bɔ saa nkurɔfoɔ no nti mede me ho bɔ wɔn a over 15 years na m'ani gye asɔre no ho firi sɛ mewɔ Ghana na yɛfie ne yɛkɔ me nana ne me maame no mu nyinaa Assemblies of God ba mebaeɛ na mehwɛ mu no sɛdeɛ nkɔlaa koraa wobisa mo question ɛduru Wednesday a nkɔlaa no na ɛyɛ nkyerɛkyerɛ na mpanyimfoɔ tie wia ne ato question ama na mehu sɛ Assemblies of God da bia nipa baakɔ ɔno yɛ sɔfo no nkwa na sɛ wɔkenkan na kyerɛ sɛ yɛnsua hwee nti mama ni gye wɔ mu nti me ne wɔ mo nante yɛ 15 years but ɛduru mmerɛ bi na madwene mu sɛ biɛ no na mesaa hyɛ aseɛ ɛbusa question wɔ saa Bible yia
Yes, sir.
yeah nti no me ne yɛ yi wɔde sɛn deɛ ma mi gye asɔre no me ne ayi Canadians mmienu bi white me ne wɔ mo kɔ nkyerɛkyerɛ yɛkɔyɛ a na wɔ mo atam ɔbonsam asi hɔ ɛna ɔbonsam yɛ daadaafoɔ ɔbonsam torofoɔ na wɔ mo aka da biara yɛkɔ nkyerɛkyerɛ a na wɔn mpɛ sɛ wɔ mo bɔ hɔ ɛna mbusa ho sɛ ɛhɔ no koraa no ne yɛwɔ nipa korɔ hɔ a yɛkɔ kyinkyi yɛkɔ pirikyi no na nkɔfa saa akɔhwɛ no baa nam sɛ no mente asɛm bi ase asɛm a mente aseɛ no da biara no ɔmo concept na ayɛ sɛ ɔbonsam yɛ torofoɔ papa bɔ no woka yɛ abonsam wɔ ani torɔ ɔka kyerɛ sɛ na moyɛ woyɛ mo ani bɛbie eti no woka Bible no hu sɛ Onyankopɔn bɔ nipa wɔama yɛ ataadeɛ ɔsɛ ne yɛ daadagya wɔn ani bie na ɔmo fɛre yɛ no Onyankopɔn busa wɔn sɛ yɛ daadagya ahɔnom a instantly no nyame yɛ ntoma ɔyɛ adeɛ de kataa wɔn ho eti hɔnom no wɔn ani abi ampa ɛtɔ so no Onyankopɔn ɛso so ɛka kyerɛ ɔka sɛ hwɛ ɛnɛ deɛ hwɛ sɛ nipa ayɛ sie mu bi wɔn ahu papa ne bɔne which means sɛ nyame bɔɔyɛ no ampa ne yɛ nim papa ne yɛ nim bɔne nti ne yɛ nim nyansa nti ne yɛ nte sɛ wɔ no because ne nyame nim papa ne wɔ nim bɔne but now ɔka kyerɛ sɛ ɔkreti yɛ sɛ yi wɔ no a ne ɛhɔ no ɔbonsam ani torɔ bonsam so ka sɛ yɛyɛ a ne yɛni bɛbie ne yɛbɛyɛ sɛ Onyankopɔn ɔka Bible no a Genesis wɔ hɔ eti hɔ no Onyankopɔn akɔmfɛ mu enti deɛ na kyerɛ sɛ kyinkyina wɔ bonsam yɛ daadaafoɔ torofo a da bia yɛkɔ preaching a yɛ a na wɔtaa ka saa asɛm no na atare yɛ hyɛ no yɛ a wahyɛ kootu yi so nyame anya ama yɛn onyame ɔbonsam ka sɛ yɛni bɛbie ampa yɛni abie yɛtumi yɛ atare hyɛ kaa na yɛde nam a yɛde kɔ preaching kaa no nso so no nyame anyɛ ka ama yɛn yɛni ebi a yɛ na nipa adwene ne yɛtumi ehunu ne ayɛ ka ne yɛde tram ne tumi de yɛkɔ fast eti ɔbonsam tro odi yɛ sɛ yɛadwene yɛni bɛbie no ɛne deɛ nyene me kan ya no asa nyame asa no mente asa George, you have been in the church for you said this and that now as if say oh ya na me hu say ho no ayɛwɔ no asa me ya ene wɔ mo ya yɛ yi na me twa so efiri wɔ mba me se ma yɛ busy ɔmo ka sɛ yɛn kɔ yi nsɛn kam se ma yɛ busy no ana me digya efiri wɔ ma nkɔ bi me say no mo de mo pesa mo ka kyerɛ nkrɔfoɔ no ana ɛyɛ right dia ade nti na wo mo yɛ nyempesempese mu ne yɛ hu de ne de ɛyɛ right enti wɔn yɛ ya wɔn ba bɛ mpire no amanko bi wɔn ma mefrɛ bi so man si congregation bi wɔn ma no madam for anam ne no kwa so na wɔn abusa no George is not coming to congregation nowadays why na ma ka kyerɛ no sɛ wɔn ka kyerɛ sɛ ma nyɛ adwumanfoɔ edu da yɛ de ba congregation ha na me yɛ adwuma me kyɛ papers saa me bɛ adwuma me bɔ me papers saa edu yi a kɔgye papers anwuma na me de hyehyɛ letter box mu makɔ adwuma aba no me nsa mmra congregation wɔ mmerɛ kɔ asɛm a mo ka na ɛntɔma so nti wo nua me sɛ adom akyɛdeɛ sometimes no o wadwene no wɔ hɔ no mu a na emu ebie wo nyiri kɔ no nti na wohwɛ wɔ mo twerɛ sɛm no koraa wɔ se na first fa na me kasa sɛ abɔfra na ɛnɛ deɛ manyini nti wo nyiri kɔ no adwene no ɛsɛ wo make good use of it sɛ wo wotumi bie adwene no mu wɔ nneɛma bi mu nti me nua wo busa me a me so me da ase me sɛ kakra metumi akyere mu ano.
Wow, when you kakra emodu pa, and it's me to understand your background because me who are there about me so obi can be a bit to me it's here and a be an answer now on your corner cano on super so unyebi and I say on super say baby free buy and into where I'm beside what me in terms of how you ended up having this amazing mind. So, and unsam na o kan nyina no you used to word adwene the word mind where you used to sa utimi say a hono and yet probably apart from having good health and life, you know, and the basic needs for our lives, you know, adwene area for our soul, no? As I say, you developer, and focus now with the margin. I inspire me to understand you more. So now we say Sisiano but Debena Uye to keep your mind, and I say be our spirit, clear of wrongdoing and being a good person as you are now. No, Debena Uye.
I think I may end there, and I'm Miniano boy, you be said, I drank one in Yansanko. One said, we are. I drank in your developer, Unya bro, 8 years, maximum 10 years, who had the papa, who had the bonnet. So I call her, Ubon said, Uyam from Soka Crabby, whom I may bar now, papa, but now who no way done it. We'll bet Ube ya dear no man about 2, so you be 8 years. But Unya free 8 and not 10 years going. I didn't know catch us idea away any. And ye tell one of you didn't know your manual. Idea, ye piano, say your papa, say your bonio, a catcher. I didn't know I rotate you on both positive and negative.
Yes, sir.
I did be a walk home piano. Why do you know better say? Better the positive side, not show negative side. And he walk as a being, and as all decided which one you have to choose. I mean, but I'm saying I don't know, and mommy, the positive and then the negative thinking. Now, me, I'm who say, and nipa what you now, person will live good. My papa knows so a brabo, when you're there, ye nipa, ye so, obey your bonnet, but I'm not bonnet and knows so a brabo. So when you're 70% positive life, now you're about 30%, at least you are safe. At least 100%, but we into when you crowd 70 or 75 positive. Now the wrongdoing, by 25. I'm said 10 be a say, we live we free will be PM, and I said, indeed, I'm said, men quite about at the mind, Yameno, me did this, men quite about me did this, on Yami because and sure every day over quiet and so I'm a position when I'm on the air. Over cannot and sure be a cannot be popiaco symphony and beautiful so over cannot walk a cracker now by but me pass as is car coin will be the year, a dime will be next year, car will over when I and you may be brave. But sir, I dear no man who know I be mammy live like ensure any in Rianomono. Minimum what the buy me as it. And to me say you will be, but what you supreme being anyone and you was some demanding who met me. But may respect it, say, Bibi Sao. And it's a Bibi no respecting on Honosono, a boy, mammy a day. Mina, I didn't. Yes,
na why the Sabi been sending on a simple Christopher and I a simple amount. And Jesus, yeah.
Papa Mitro Musa Mikwa sorry ni bio. Yes, I mean, Kobida, yes, I mean, Christo need my assemblies of God, be Jehovah Witness. But I would say, I dare be a Wusian, and also the Wagner tones a contradiction woman as a binim. I Oko Buku Noa, Yenia, Thomas, James name Crawford or Mokre Babu, Akogo, and Nelba who's a warm boots war. Even John, or the saying, even Judas. You can find the book of Judas in Google. But Yanfa Biama, I didn't know. You comfort Timothy, well, who yesu, what an auntie. I didn't as you comfort Paul, and woman, Emma, need the ever draw so womb. Peter, one in 90 year drew baby, ye in I did this or different years or Tracy Can as so grandma, yet to cast one fanjo. The book here too, 1 Peter, 2 Peter. Why go to Paul on an auntie? Ono wasi kwanso na Damascus kwanso na ni bi kasache na ni fra ya okwa Ananias so enti Ananias no ehunhum na wura ni mu a otimi be ye de so wo ya na se Yesu hunhum no wo kọ no kasa suafo no nkonkotwen no enti mi enwura suafo no mu a wo ma ntwe more than Ananias hunhum a hodo de no nana is and me can say ni mani bi wo ho a wa dwen no spirit no a cassatra, the open offer, made the son of Magna Cassatra, and I'm spirit Cassatra, Mintino. Nana, or Mamma and I a simple, or bet me I simple, but
say woman and nanti you know can't some fun of honey at the Abian Kamedi, but woman you are the nephew near Kofa at dear Fufro. And or Triangoma Coma Galantians, or Triangoma Coma Philippians, or Triacoma. Yes, sir. Me too on win Matia, sorry, I was a fee. The metro message for uncle. Because Tibi word the gomba, me shed the gomba for life, the metro mom, come a year, Boliga, our Marie, Sabi, and Clamor. Men call Cancraman once a moon. Dear mid, can't or Boliga, Babua woman, and on a mecca. And you know, concert no me better one and the same set as a Christos me foundation akoye ba kwama sa you know ametitin sorry and ametiti ko ho nyina and you know sana me hu poro ne ntwere ye ne ne mani bi and you me say but all the same no nyini nyina so na ye bad e bi won ma aye nwoma ye tan away ye kai books bebre ye fa nyansa won aye nwoma ofa de ye nyansa ma won no wafa now the bob brand be ye ya but say one day say say one fa Yesu no nko ade a wayira na wonko ba bia no en na me de me nyintum say one fa Yesu no nko a na wanhu Yesu ese wono no kra no agye nkwa ana se wono ani nyame no a ene de me nyintum because onyankopon no o koka say Yesu ye nyankopon no wa degrade nyankopon because ye hu bonsamta bonsam ye hu ni da the how can say ye be hu nyame physical like human being bonsam no just o person yes bonsam no kwa be great change yankopon na bonsam no so no say ye komo a wonim yankopon e chen ye wonim Yesu chen ye a Christopher me ye wo me how many years ni afi na manya 55 years obonsam o hoda through Job time eti Job time no onyankopon trans was it there be no share na ma no obonsam so ko bi eti o hono no onyankopon Yesu ye ko hu no obonsam ko hu yankopon and Yesu no so a creating no so pass as so was after 40 days fasting obonsam ko so no hwe obonsam ko so na hwe no wan kan gentle onyame was na so you onyame ba dan abodo dan we abodo na fadi and was nye abodo nko na nipa de betanase enti no obonsam no oni onyame da wono kra na pam no abia ni amoho it is yin na gitum so ye bone aye ni amoho no opam no ma no ba asase su dia wa so obe hu no wa asase su so ye nipa na wo so abe friend one friend so onyame no obe friend say wo ye nyame ba no huh there are certain things na make us a group media ya dwen no dey dream no ye nya ye nyusu wo the officer kina wo ye nyame ba ma I mean I don't mean me nyintum me side there me nyintum say because me compare sa na ma we me enu kra na otimi hu say a contradiction because Sabon Samno am here whom God is and who Jesus is. So what we will
never know who God is. And such a powerful statement, so be or take that statement, and if it wasn't for the devil, we will never know God. Because a bit conceive so many controversies. So a bit me I will and Nema be brave, but what can you so boldly? Because you have gone beyond the Bible. Just as a former Jehovah's Witness and Assemblies of God member, which means that you've obviously read parts of the Bible, no? And after reading them, no, what you know, any questions, and these questions, you know, if you answer what can what you know any more, no. You are now even able to make sense of things independently, minus the Bible. And what can some be brave without even making a quote, too many quotes from the Bible. So, but every question be able to say according to the Gospel of maybe Matthew chapter this. So that's the critical mind. Hasn't been developed. It's still learning. You're right. And Yabun Sama, like we will never know God and will never know Jesus.
Okay.
And
Koso.
What do you mean, Koso?
Na kawa se mi ne hwe man na si camera.
Papa, me miss a question which way be.
Oh, so busa okay, all right. Busa.
Black coffee, the sexy voice, Michiao.
Oh, Nana Missy Menya called you Ghana near Friend Qatar. Yeah, Missy.
Michiao been here more than the man. And our boy there, the evolving man. Also, boy, they do evolve. Oba de so de ntie more than the mouth. And our papa smile so. Papa me chia.
Major Ozone.
Yo, yeti question Nasika.
Yo, coffee na me pese me bisa say. Wohwɛ kyerɛsɛm na yɛfrɛ no Bible na me ankasa no yɛwɔ me tomato dis efie nti mission house na menyiniyɛ.
Matthias here.
Nti menyiniyɛ no me ne me maame yɛ na yɛfrɛ Downward Methodist Church ɛwɔ di kyɛm so.
Okay.
Edu Saturday bia Anthony bɛyɛ asɔre no yɛ na yɛpɛ asɔre dɛm mu nti no ɛba Kristo so mu a oyɛ me si nkyɛn yɛyɛ nimu paa.
Matthias here menua.
Na mpɛsɛ bibisa sɛ according to Tresem no ɛfiri Genesis ɛde kwasi Revelation.
Yes sir.
Ɛbi hɔ a mpatwa wobɛtumi akyerɛ me baabi a ɛkyerɛ sɛ bonsam ekum nipa.
Oh, Nana. Yay. Oh. Nana, Charlie, thank you, Papa. Medasi said when you invited me. Nana, I'm some days no record would say what could be.
Yo, na mpatwa from Genesis to Revelation, wobɛtumi akyerɛ me baabi a ɛkyerɛ sɛ Nyankopɔn ekum nipa.
Nana, and no part there's a make can't be a bit my go for, but evidence no doors so say radical nipa be free.
Aha. And the end of the matter be here.
Oh, okay. All right then. You, Kofi.
Yes, sir.
Mahu sɛ one ɔbada no na abɔ nkɔmmɔ kakra fa but yɛnkɔ anim kakra na yɛhwɛ nneɛma na na sika mmra sɛdeɛ mehyɛ aseɛ kae me ne ɔpani kɛseɛ bi twetwe nkɔmmɔ kakra over last week na ɔka kyerɛ me sɛ the only salvation that you can ever have is your evolved soul. Saa asɛm a ɔpani yi ka yi me nua wodwen ho sɛ
sentence in the
or say your only salvation is your evolved soul. Your only salvation is your evolved soul.
Perfect. And that's why I wanted to hear the word for word. And thank you for the emphasis on the word only. So, very significant. Salvation, and I come from a background to be a chairman near maybe and so people who how I got to know I can always point where I get some of my wisdom from. But said here now brother Alex Ekano and brother there Ekano. So we do baby a chain here quotes. I dream no epistati I think independently. I'm a and somehow be kind of grandpa trade be grandpa be when I say, hey, me not be cancer same way. Wow. So now salvation always you use English word always mekai or mami no mo kasa say English language, a very, very, very recent language. So now there is a field of study from etymology, the beginning of words, how words are formed. So now how words are formed, it is so important that we even have alphabets, and these alphabets were drawn from nature. So when are happening for nature, noise and those kind of things, that is how we drew our alphabets. Into the word salvation, so back into what it really means. It means to salvage something. Into me fan say or garden, and I say a farmer, and one day obeko farm no. Ebiashe onyama crops they ebiashe, but now you can resuscitate them. You're trying to salvage the pieces, so and you are discarding the ones that you cannot salvage. So many a times Christian and maybe Islamic teachings, it talks about salvation. So it is somebody who is going to come from somewhere. That is the impression that we have. What kind of salvation? Be better and say, if you're Jesus, if we sorrow, and then he'll come and say, you are good, so I'm going to put you in fire for life. You're good, so I'm going to put you in heaven with gold and honey and milk. Go here. We are bad into call a gym way forever. So that means Jesus has become the judge, the one who is meant to be pure and holy. No, all of a sudden he's become a judge, and he's so wicked that he can push people towards fire for eternity, and he can push other people towards joy for eternity. And the Bible, that's the understanding, right? Into salvation, it means Jesus is going to come. Muhammad in Sukkah, or see somebody will come and judge people, and some will be taken to heaven or salvation, so they'll go to heaven. But Usha said here, brother Alex Ekano, the mind, let's put away Christianity and all this. Let's just come to life as it is. As a human being, you are ajune, you are akoma, and you are body. So, and within the body, you are emoja, a fat, your body, and all these areas, they influence the way we think. Okay, so regardless of God, and I say Christianity or Islam, we still have independent thoughts that we can have without thinking of God first. So says you see, and make us say, oh, watching out, me say Abian because I deal with Sainsbury's. I mention everybody once and I'll say it because that is my will, that is my free will, it is my choice. So because of that, said the brother Alex Dekano. So Obi, you Ubi say why it is filled with other people's opinions. So and at the same time filled with maybe some of your opinions. But Ebinimo Omajunene is filled more with other people's opinions, and they become quite negative in a way. So into brother Alex Gabibi said percentage wise, at least when you're 70% positive thinking and 30 crampana 30, you can work around it. So to salvage the mind, which may have a lot of negatives and positives, we go into our own selves. So maybe you say questions, hey, so what do I do that is probably bad? And you say, oh, sometimes maybe when you are angry, you overreact. So not what you okay, how do I become a better person? So he said, brother Alex Ekano, the real salvation, and as you've also asked, Papa, the real salvation is being able to salvage all the good things within you, your mind, and continuously building upon that to outweigh the negatives. So that's how I'll put it.
Okay.
So, yes, I'm kind of dream. I'm kind of say, Abia, Obeko inside, and then what dream? Yema, why ya, Abia, a papa no. Obe bomode now, Abia, what focusu, and also, and eventually, adrenaline, a bit condition, and it will start doing more good than the bad. And that is what I think salvation is ultimately, bro.
Okay.
Yes.
All right then. Thank you very much. Confidence. So now yentie na nasika enswe oya yakọ Rasby enso ehonum. Nasika or say the only salvation you can ever have is your evolved soul. What would you say?
Papa. If I told Smith maybe so awesome.
Busamie.
Papa, asama aka say mood pa and I own
Obi na kan you se bibia ni ase.
Obi na kan.
Some see me no open even din komo. Ana wa
ka. Brother Ishmael ana.
Me see me no open even na kan ya na wo kan asase we kire me say your only salvation is your evolved soul.
Papa, 100%.
Okay. The open the mini din komo na friend no Madam Angelina Ayi.
Mami Ajujo.
Ni din no.
Madam Angela Ayi.
Angelina Ayi.
Ayi. Mami Ayi. Pacho baby a obi a so tie a with the enche more than pa the man. Ichia pa mami. wadwemu do oyo batampa oyo batampa
Nana,
papa no kwe etrese
Nana answer ube kasado. Sama mino. Minua. Se ushiana. Bro. And some now will come when Ubeka a million times. And I like the way he said her statement has made you feel the lady from afar. It means that you guys are connected. One day, but Modena Papa Emma Unshiano. Why Mama Meshiano now? You're a lovely lady in real life. Why? God bless you, Nana. Yes.
no kwe papa asem no on say asem me so meti asem ya cho papa but asem we pen na obi asa si so no papa na say ahye ne ma
Okay.
papa mesese ye funu a owo ye maame ayi no sa ye funu no e shanka sa ye funu
Ami.
papa ewiase no say yeti wiase papa ye fe bibi entiase ya understanding so oti bibi ase a papa so utu ho anamon a onye den omre papa de tense asase so yeti or say ye evolve nipa ye evolve from stages, from one stage, second stage, third stage to say yawo do baby papa see be fifi now evolve no o de ba ye aka nkasa mu a na cha sensan bi kosu omu the science science na kosu omu no sa na o se eyi ne ho adi wo stu ene wo ban mu papa so kan o mo twe osem na o se mi sua no na me dwen se den
Abofra.
abofra ba me nyini ye what you say eti esanity nipa ye evolve enti asama ye ma me bia beto dwane papa no kure todo a chinye bia ni ho ena o evolve no so a papa ema onyoma ekoso ye because onye stagnant it is sebe nsu a eta baby on say nsu stagnant a na yihwa na pantonton on be virus but o evolve a de bia no nyini na okoso nti me me maame no eya adwen 100%. Papa na memfa akonya osesa minchia menua ade hai alias oboade nana ana yesa na
oboade nana mununkum
papa enne wakasa papa oboade temenka papa wakasa da okasa ba enne no se ni wosi a cheche nyuma mu wonya tubuase a papa mu ebiebie kese wadwa ntati am ye hu ntati anso no kese we piepie mu kakran kam ye nyire ye hu obade koswa na fasa anchechewi fakoksoa ye tawachi papa because on cheche no se menye obi am ye conscious bukwa na atoma komaso atoba koma so kese ncheche no papa aka makoma sana meka no because on pese usua dia ncheche a obo ade de mai papa obetini tapu bibia fem na de ya ha me ne se papa me ye emna na me ye Kristo ni no ho papa ceremony asem kwana asem it makes sense men fasem no because it's not coming from Christian point of view but asem ceremony can also it makes sense but men
okay
then am I limited to baby I'm one Bible no kwa men person metri bia fa nkrimofo. That's how far we can be brainwashed in one way or other. What means only sabe Hindu ni ana Hare Krishna ni it makes sense. But because we've limited ourselves to one side, we cannot even open up a buyer, we condemn it. Papa, and the man a banner, son, say. Papa, and Pimby, and none of me Christian, you know. So, me can't trust him now. We can't trust him with my heart. With my heart.
What kind with your heart?
I can't with my heart.
And I said, saying,
Papa, me can't trust him with my heart. Be what trust him, Nibiano. Me fan automatically, and I add emotions to it. Me can't trust him with my brain, but I can't trust him with my brain. I can assess how don't the way it doesn't make sense. Way it makes sense. Way it doesn't make sense. Way it makes sense. Papa, my mom fan to him. You see, David. At the enjoying my fan said 100 echo the D. And they will jump back a ride. David Edgar is 99 ho. Echo she will jump back on a wire. Now, my fan said, I bet David buy and no come so jump back up on wire. Or buy as a 99 is why Papa, does it make sense?
On say. Me the anyway me said yeah fa a honum no on the surface of the pink sheet no there it doesn't make sense, right? But you see a story be let's go beyond that but beyond the surface no, right? One say ye we man say bia ye obi twasini a ebi wo hono mu a yemfa ne se omugina ahase, right? Na omaka se omukọ baabi, right? Ubehu ano yemfa ne se bia omugina asomase yes omukọ atonsu, right? Ubehu na yetwa na omugina atonsu meboa as to kwaya omufa so a omukọ atonsu no se wo anhu meboa. So omo de car na call you so omo fa from said you sinini ye twefrim meboa. Okay, in that story no sebia David wodi enwa no kwhye baabi mu ana wodi dwa odija ne yonku nwan shepherd ne yonku shepherd bi. I will never know, but what I pick out of that story and it said the America for kana wo say there be you don't leave anyone behind. So what is America focus as that? It's whatever happened in between. Say what nija will be, say one fenya will be, say woja and there I will never know because you and I we were not there. If we think say he left them out there in the opener, it's our guess that we are making. If we guess say they moved from Atonsu to Aswanse with the bicycle, with an aeroplane, and the car, hey, you and I, we are only guessing. Ain't no a hundred year, maybe call and family home. Name what I can pick out of that, that is what matters to me. What's my point, Nasi? And then I'm checking, me say, don't leave anyone behind. Said the America for can. Don't leave anyone behind. That is what I've explained to you.
Me make us a logic and common sense, So because in 100, that's about choir. I will never leave the 99 behind and go and look for the one.
Okay, all right. One say, logic and common sense. I think last week, I made mention of a certain quotation about logic and common sense. Video. I mean, here I mean, what's it? Very, very, very interesting. Metwase say opese wode logic and idea bay ana eye adwuma, but papa panyi movie ne din ya na ne bonu ye meden kakra, but me try na ma hwese metimi aba. Oh na papa infa no wafa sisi. Okay, all right. Or say asa hero. Okay. Nanesika Mary Hammer, right? What the coso Mary Hammer see anama can cancel because it's so the logic na ye adwuma meboa.
Papa, any logic in family never be and it's okay as part of it.
Okay.
Papa, all say we are we humans, we are limited beings. Try to understand our limited beings. The chance, Papa, man, for we am fatu. Papa, all say moi. Papa, we took us away, Shana.
There will be ankasa into koso. Why?
Papa, all say moi say, it's a baby, I want to come out with you. Obo say do baby, obo say come on to me, she baby, di no, whoa, come on, put one side, sir. Oh, Tiasia, what do you call Pamokaman? Can't judge me, dear Jadoyano, no Pamokaman. If you come on, call Bessa Bijam, Pusa, whoa. Come on, sending Yakopo see or Mosamuano. They have eyes, but they cannot talk. By any pan, you were neat, but you look a criminal walk, third eye, no. Who said, Papa, ono krama ti fie na so ne ejamo ti fie. Na se ejamo ane kasa. Papa dey na be fili. Ohun be duru be dwane mpoka na me boa. Because they didn't see that.
Okay.
Sanity. And there are certain things that is beyond us that we cannot understand. Numa biwa is beyond us. That numa biwa is beyond M1, they can never talk. But they can see. We can talk, but it's not anything that a bit me either.
Okay, all right. Nanesika, or say, a mind, all logic is like a knife or blade. It bleeded that the hand that used it. What you say, Kasem?
Papa, Fabra Chim, when I mean,
and then I'm found Kofi that's all the way tree on the way Yana. Kofi, or say a mind or logic is like a knife or blade.
A mind or logic is like a knife or blade.
Yeah, the hand that used it bleeds. And he kind of say.
The hand that uses it bleeds.
That's right.
So, on say blade, blade away, just by itself. And so usum, and so order to palm. Your palms and you squeeze it out, it will cut you, maybe. Yes, a blade itself, right? If you put a blade in your palm and you squeeze it, it will definitely cut you, right? But so with 2 fingers, a sum from the tiny side, and you can dangle it and it will not cut you, right? So it's a wonderful allegory. Says if the mind is just one way of thinking, eventually it can explode, and we may miss out on certain wisdom that we are meant to get. You understand? Just as simple as that. That's how I'll put it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Nice one, Kofi. In another way, no, Nanesika. One say, "O se kan u use ofie." So, say o handle.
Papa, I say kan ni fanum.
O se kan na e wo fie na o use no aduane na. So, say enye all blade all round me boa.
Sanam tie.
Handle or me boa.
Papa papa menti ase na akoye se adwen a use logic
enkwano sa
ni enimu nja
David yes anete akoye se sekan a any handle ni sekan ni nsa ni nyina sekan ni nyina ye blade. There's no safety.
Yes.
Enti adwen a why na adwen se logic enkwano de be ye adwuma no eti se sekan a any handle eno ba bia ye blade enti na and so would be one a bit child.
To my big child, definitely. That's why I even use the blade as the example.
Oh, okay.
The blade you.
And logic and quantity the ejuma.
And Papa also me no kasa me catch or say in logic in quantum be ejuma because beje sunsumunyo makaka so di.
Okay.
To extent, but me too much inclined into sunsumunyo man be brisa. But being an African. Na enyoma kakra me akasa me ko Ghana no, I witness it. I have evidence to that effect no. Emma me hu say sabe se da o se tuprum e wi ase na hokwa bibi wo ho something is there but as in no o come to my side me fa logic and common sense in kwanye ejuma I believe in spirituality as well.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay. All right then.
All right.
Yo, Nanesika, any NF1 or 2, any uncle Rasbin so. Why?
Papa, nti me de ma no to no. Em se me nua Rasbi a oba ho man so.
Papa, that is why for an ameboa.
Ah, Rasbadjumba.
Oh, Ras Bajimba. Oh, yo, Ras, you more quaba, you who watch it. You can't watch it. You who watch it. You more quaba. It is a Ras Abaso dia, Ras Bajimba, Papa. The mamma Casa want to be. They just feed the case in Namibia, Mammy,
Ras no Akabi. All right, thank you very much. Openia or can't smile me kind no your friend Rabindranath Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore. Nidino no.
It's Tagore. Yes, Rabindranath Tagore.
Hey, now kind of streets are. Hey.
Yes.
Rabindranath Tagore. You,
Yes.
Was say a minor logic is like a knife or blade. It makes the hand bleed that uses it. Sana makanti mimi ndiye mkana na ye trafa ne chi. So it was say a mind or logic is like a knife or blade. It makes the hand bleed that uses it. Yo, and the rasbi.
And the PS.
And the rasbi.
And the PS.
And the rasbajumba.
And the Papa Smiley.
Hey, since why tight no?
Nana, me tiemo.
Yes, why tight? Yeah. Me nyina ye.
Na mechia obo ade na na be munkum. Say itedenka ya na mitedenka by menene eye 101 ache ye pa.
Okay.
Yes. Na ye he baby a ifra ye bidra na je say a long way. Me fa kwan we so na machia no. Oba de na mechia o sonko kwa so kra sa so na na sika ososo mechia. Openi kofi ono so mechia na onia Alex na Apostle ono so mechia. Opa meche akwantufo tiefo enyina na oba de na aboye nkomo na so wasua bibi bebre sanity na yenua nsɛm a woka asisi ase knife blade no sɛ yenua nana sika eka sɛ sika no fanu ampa sanity sika no fanu na ke sɛ angle no nyina no itimi etwa na the way we interpret no na ubehu no but no makanka sɛ munna de metiase no sikan enufanu na as said the way
wait Ras 1 second sikan nufanu de sikan enimu ni akiri twa meboa
da sɛ no ne blade na mo kyerɛ mu sia bre ya sisia no
but sikan a enimu ni akiri twa no na say what handle it doesn't mean the knife is all blade though. So the handle is also no blade, Anna.
Okay.
Inti say a second encante nufanua. If you know a double-edged sword, right? Or double-edged knife, but it doesn't mean say it hasn't got a handle, and I say it is all blade throughout.
Blade yeah ni where we are see any handle.
Okay, all right.
Blade beer or handle. That blade here can yemfa tatra blade and to be a sabris is here. Yeah, it's tatra blade at all. Uhuni sano. Beti me de aso ending no baby inchamida. Inti se ode yana sa okase blade no any hand and also so me no nyadwi eno handle nti masom sisi a entwame
Okay.
Entwame kuta sisi a entwa And so Nina no wood when it's towards this year no. So why chira ohun say Nina a blade dahwa sabre one year also more a bit chow. But my sums is here in Tramme.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Yo, and yeah, young anywhere. What say? The only salvation you can ever have, and your boss salvation won't come, right?
Yeah.
Apostle Abba until on also boy and come up. But I say the only salvation you can have is your evolved soul. What do you say?
Papa, evolve. Yeah, moving from one place to another. Obi a obi move bia free. Bia wote na wako baby fufuru bia no. Why involve ɛwɔ nneɛma bebree. Ebetumi aba adesua mu. Ebetumi aba akwantuo mu. Ebetumi aba dewa a na wodwene. Ni nyinaa no ye evolve. Na ade a mehu kakra ya ema ye nu bebree wo wiase a sɛ wode ho to so wanhwe ya untimi evolve ɛyɛ ade bi a your friend no religion. So we are attached to it bebree. Ube stuck. Ubetena udemni fam. Na ubetena ho. Na unye ubia ubitimi move go forward. And I say wadane wo konkra ahwe wachi. Wo de ene say wan hwe ya say ye de usi se hwe ade ba akuse ya. Papa se bonkum ne se hwe a ehwa na obehwe kofim se wodi bekowo. Se nifa ene ye se hwe a ehwa na behwe se ubekowo. Obi a wotimi evolve ebia ye obi a wonfa ne ho attached to anything ya a friend no religion. Wotimi evolve eko nanim na se oduru baabi na obi kasa wotimi interpreti etiase na ono so etna bia ho te se nipa no ya ye wo no to ho no otiase no otna ho nti baabi a nipa ne beduru bia no wotimi make peace ewo environment no ho bia aduane bia o mbedi bia no wotimi edibi asa ebia wotimi esa bia o musa bia no ho no wotimi sa nti nipa no me kase woye multi system anase ukuta multi mind sana besi afado eniti meni nipa no be yadwi se salvation eya obi a obetimi evolve no anase obi a salvation obeje ne ho nkwa no eye obi a otimi evolve. Papa sabre baby a meni we ye wo mra bebre wa hase se enema bi wo ho na ekutakuta mu nanka ye de eba hase a papa nka nkwaje nka minim se yemi enu anase enuanum bebre o mutie mi no one way the other no nka bebre ato anananum wo ensiedo anam se omutimi epe salvation omu penkwaje no mbetima atenase eninti omu evolve omu hu sabre ya me no kase ya omutimi se abre nuanu bebre evolve nti omu ti nkwaje papa sana kakra metiase
eko kasem no yo rasbi ye bedo ase ati ye bedo ase pa na te honom ye mado final word aba na yenko apostle bibi enso na ono so omi hu de na adwene ye no e wa asem a maame pani e bo mamane e wo ho Apostle, you too where?
Papa.
Any aquabu.
Yeah, yeah.
Good one there.
Let us say.
Yamiadum, yet him, Papa. Yet him.
And I will say, why if I come?
Sound.
Oh, go to the super top.
Thank you. Baby, no.
As when Nasta now the tire to
so you want it. Okay, what pa? And now so na me touch that say na meet you ne nyamsoma for ya.
Nyamsoma for.
Nyamsoma for the assemble.
Very interesting,
very interesting, but you and yanku anymore. Was it your only salvation is your evolved soul?
Okay. I think that sometimes obi can some chiro. Na some yo da ya now onwene asem no ho bebre. And as we don't even ask questions about those asem na wakan.
Okay.
Asem no I think is a nipa no this will church mu bebre. No kan bia no be say Envani say menye kremoni na actually me be kremoni a myself no I have revolved.
You have revolved.
Okay. So na I revolve. And to say if say kremusum no ema salvation then I have revolved and got that salvation. But I said, if Kramutum no mass salvation there, then I have revolved and got doomed. What do you say? And all revolve here, you can go wrong or you can go right in two ways.
On say, so when you want to take the literal or the definition of an evolved soul, an evolved soul is an old soul that became godlike, right? Or it's a soul that has become godlike, and you can an evolved soul, right?
That is why I make us say, we shouldn't talk out any statement now.
Okay.
We need to listen.
Okay. All right.
Now. Kofi can't be. Say salvation savage. There be Kofi. I say oh yes idea na. And yet utun futu aguyeni. Because there be. I mean, Dimitri will say savage. You know, Latin word will say, Greek word will say, whatever. So English word.
Salvage.
Salvage. It's not from salvation. Salvation only root near save. Save. See, you can say, Ubi, ya save Ubia. Say, be something, be a day cost say, no, be a Joe, something like that. Something.
Now, Obet Marka said, yeah, save ya, okay, Obet may use the word rescue.
Yes, and also it me a friend is a synonymous also whatever.
Any salvage any rescue na namu.
Yes, salvage. Now say baby or they call no example now they man say salvage. On say salvage in so to say ebia you be say savages. And cophobia ya to masaram.
Savages, and then they different from salvage.
They say that we are sample now. Almost say, a friend is say, I say ball or so something going waste, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But what I wanted to say is say save. And to save, no, that is all we all know. The English word save. But salvation, no, and funny say it in the Bible, biblical. It's a biblical word.
Salvation, a biblical word. Okay.
Like you say, that is out of save. Save ya kanya we unite yasi. And you know in the Bible, no, opportunity say salvation. And that salvation, the Bible, it brought that word, it gave it meaning. Say, the soul of man has a two places to go.
Bible,
To go,
Bible, no.
yes.
Okay.
Either to go a doom or to right place. And I say, friends say, condemnation or enjoyment. So therefore, say, Bible no say obi wo that salvation and as will be a saver. That soul is saved from condemnation to enjoyment. So that is what is brought about salvation. Now, Bible now about the bond of contention. Always we want to use what is in the Bible to disprove a lot of things. And as I say, can't be pray. Now, was here who say Christosum no. Enipa bebre sum Christosum and as sum Christo without Bible. Enipa bebre someone say there be America say Christosum no. It is the spirit of Christ that lives in the person. And that is how the Bible I bano. And now say continue preaching. It came about preaching and telling us things. Funny say Moses, Abraham nam hono ansa no munyina Moses never can nyina. Ekopie Jerusalem friends Egypt no. There weren't not be any who are trusting be any. Right. But I said message from the father to the children, from the father to the children. And when Moses came about, and Moses, according to him, through the Spirit of God, help him to write for Israelites who say, Nyamina Mosum no Yahweh now, this is what he is, and this is what he wants, and this is what he don't want. And your fathers Abraham and Kuno say na ya na ma mo be pie Egypt ya no. And he wrote it to let them know where they came from and where they were going. God want them to go. Ena omunamwa enti after Moses no Joshua who said Moses, he was documenting everything that is happening. People or nkofo no mo twroma no. Eno nti ono so toa so etro ne de e documenti ne de. Then the prophets or mobile ubia ye bibia ono so documenti and it was a Moses at the point when Yamena catches the Moses Trosadi way too. Said ye be chirima. Ain't he? It was so now the New Testament also came. Now New Testament nearby no tiu. Yesu Christo abewu oko. Enkofo agi Christo adi. There is no Bible that believes that the Spirit, His Spirit, according to what it is, no, His Spirit lives in you. If you allow the Spirit to lead you, you do what He wants. So not necessarily means say you have to go and chew the Bible so that you can do what is right. No, that is not what necessarily means. Now look, a friend is a physician. What is a issue about? Okay, my miss me asem. Ain't there was someone be a friend of Theophilus or Sika and Oma look Sika. Say Obima o Sika say Jacoyen Shishemu. Nehu asemua because Yesu aba bibusu papa bibisu ofinya bibisu ofinya me a whole lot of it. Look be Shishemu. And no trokoma Theophilus say Theophilus. Yesu Christo na me koye emu hwehwemu. Say ni na me hu fa na ho. Na wo de obasa susu obe e no de to. E no oye hwehwemu so troba about Paul, that is us, the book of us. He wrote detailed things about Paul, about some of the friends, the apostles, disciples, no, any other look of who can look Axna. So and on also are the two. Now and I might or mark most will be a month for church or more account. And untino this in also any do baby soon ne a biwa and go for a can send be say yes in the crown onye nyame ebimuzu yenipa ebimuzu ese enti so motia no also try to also reply by writing so enunti amotwotwo nguma ne bebre ena odi am forwarding to a friend the last book of Revelation and no say the book of Revelation Paul a friend say Samano John or Patmos on island so ena onya Revelation ena Troy. Now the books ni nyina wo ho enu nti nyame an dictate am say twerwe. Most of them maybe they got revelation of them, they heard voices and they recorded accounts what is true about it. Ewa niema bi ena omo Troy. Now, enunti amanfo nso dru baabi no enkofo nso trotro no ema obi nso timi tro book say oh na obi ka say na we no ni Peter kananti ye ne amfa na meka ho da bi sa book ye friend is say the book of Barnabas, the book of Judas da ben owu ye da ben na Judas be tro book. Judas Petro book. Judas Petro book. Who was the first person of the disciples scroll we? So, into those books it by later and then go for into all these things nina can home because I go for I will be a person or trony the every year now must say and yet that canonization a by and unti omu canonize a book to nina 66 and unti ena omu edoto and no happened before and son that the Nasi one and meet neighbor ain't in a Nasi conference or whatever ni change book omu ekika book ni bomu. It happened that so but nyano ne echo but the point is that the Bible no it is there to help us to know what happened and some of the things and some of the preaching and some of the things I used to kind and some of the poor thing are poor kind and some of those things yes where they to home obu okra omunya asem baby no masuma say munkobusa say asem we say na esi enye dey na eja omo eye mpanyfo na dey no mo atwero abrem nti ene yanzu ebetima face some issue then we take reference from the Bible. So the Bible, because the Bible no is powerful, and kawudi two baby grana by Fogan. It can't be like that. It is not meant to be like that. So in Christianity, no Bible no di muakotne. But the Bible is not the bone of contention. It is the Christ that lives in you. So if Christ will be until me can say, any probably have to increase without the Bible. Just that the Spirit of Christ that lives in you, you allow it to control your life. You allow it to control your life. You go rightly. So because say Bible so dito you go wrong. You even go wrong because they are Bible no more. It is not a papa, something that we can emirate. So I don't see now one time they say a friend is a Timothy my you Judas so book nyina no a true book a book it was against Christ and the work of Christ and they didn't allow there were a lot of books they didn't allow them to appear. It's a Bible because omone baka Bible na ne nanka contradictions I beba die ninka bibiri and that thing no it happens that colonization of the Bible no happened before and son. Your friend is a Constantine. Ebeji Christo Edi.
Okay. All right, baby.
It is not that point, no.
Baby, wait there, Rasby. Mesra Senka, Yatunka Chedianka within the next 30 minutes, no. So, Bibi, Mesaba, no, Mesaba. Bibi Casa Imuno, so we are. Nan kawashi ama enuanom bia obi opese obusa bibi question ananse bia obi opese oka bibi so bibi de no so bia no ahwe na mama why Rasby why thank you very much and anasika obabaso na bibi
asem kaka minia bibi
okay all right ubusa no wi a na te se yato aso afiri ho no mko wachi ntini busa no why
yo bibi memo akwaba bigidi se oba na mfra ni na ho ye bi okasamu no o ma tiefo ina etiase se Bible no o ka bibi fa Timothy ho se nsem bi wo ho a just contradict Christianity.
Eva, Michelle. It wasn't Timothy I wanted to say. Barnabas. Because they were talking about the book of Barnabas. And then you have Barnabas. Timothy one true book be our Bible.
Ntu kasa nsem na o Bible no eye ni nyina na ebetimi da aye adwuma nanso o kan revelations me eti ase pefese atwere nyina efiri Yankopɔn honhom enti sa atwere nyina efiri Yankopɔn honhom ti se na Bible ni si kana eye den na o si yi bi firim anase ntimi mfa be nya adwuma mpacho betimi akyere ma me ati ase
okay Paul eko ka kyere Timothy say atwere nyina efiri Yankopɔn so we say na Paul tro na trobe na no oka because Paul na or a friend say that's a script a friend say more friend no that or more tro no can because Jesus Christ kura ba the more friend phrase the tools or whatever but point they say now Jesus Christ kura ba no obekin kan bi Torah okay Jesus Christ kura ba no obekin kan ebi now one was all who you who say and some no one o kan ye wo de Nyankopon e kan say trowe to obi o ka say Nyankopon anu asem ni ana say mamunye say so and some na e wo ho ni nyina no eye enema bi e record o si obi oba bi obetimi akra to oba bi no odware e no ro no ana zo omubu obi wa bonten and some be e account obi pop your friends say we tro be count enti it is in fact obi a thesis utro e bia a friend say literature review with my tro be but at the end of the thesis no you recommendations now why you want why and niam bi ato you say enti no yen ka say you know your friend say theory ni ade enti there are certain things bi wo mu a account ade bi nipa na yase asumasi kobo obi asum the fact say ya twa Bible mu say asumasi kobo obi asum nche say e wo Bible mu say obi bo obi asum ti wase enso ebo obi asum so enti no we say wo yim say bia wa wo kan say David you say oja nipa oja enwan 99 e no ko hwe ba ko ayira we say common sense no so kire say obi anu a onim nyansa obejai 99 no at a danger point so okohwe baako wuzi ase ebejima bozo odo won begubuom mo okohwe baako David ono no oni a friend say ne step mother na tie anka akra na say ono usan ko tena fie no ono ne aka na to sreso imagine so obafie baka se baako ayira unbia de be no nti wo so wo hwe say obepe baako na wayira but no kra no something it was a lesson or the portray actually bibi so enti you say obi adano no obi say adwamanbo ewo eye o kan Bible pa na o mo adwaman o kan Bible na o fam plan dia na me hu adwene wo so na mo so on fa Bible church. I was when I assume see echo farm pana the Bible and it does not make sense. And adwuma sa yes and so enti the first say I say bia appear Bible mu ti be say e dey adwuma dia ye mfa nya adwuma enti no nyame ansam no wo ho eno e wo ho enti wo say atwere nyina afiri nyankopɔn hu mu na wo say ade na esi ye no eno otweroye ade na esi ye no eno otwero enti esi that make it true say ade asumasi bo obi asumasi ye bo na deja esi yes enti no no correct sana oppress watchero enti the woman the ones for instructions the woman also usua we emirate no emirate the woman ni kwan so we you know oye em fan say example obi konkran eno papa ache no eno utunufo no say enua enkran ya wukoi yesi adwuma ho ode pa enu nti adwuma no ukọ na wonya adwuma yero ho na ye adwuma no na bia won so o papa tu mama mi nwe na busa o papa na etu fo sa se o konkran but na me nso me konkran o na me tenchen baby na o papa etu wo fo se o konkran na mate se nkran no yesi adwuma ho oden tu nya adwuma yero ho na ye ne ye fa no kradie e fa ye adwuma enkran so mate se yesi nsuo toto ntu ukọ no fa chiniye na ede ne fa ena me ka tro se wonso no enam se bia wo yare enti no fa waduro no na no pa bia no baako enti me ate afutu a wo papa de ma won me so me konkran ni bi me se me hu se yesi nsuo toto nsuo nso to a ebeto abu obi enti me se me so me kwa kopechini a me kwa kopechini ni bi na me san so de atu ti se me adwuma a me yire me ho aye but the third advice no menyare enti no ni kwanza me konkran a me kono maduro baako because matese ye tu obi fo se on fa duro no mti no me so me kono maduro but me yare dia so te say enti the Bible no that is how it is you sham na why dey die wasa yesi wo ye no nwaye die ni kwanza yesi wo ye no we ye free so enti those things no the people vote is to a specific issues, specific things, but me in come for an boy and Patrovich.
Yo, so what the nana person can be so a bit me. I can what the nana one uncle.
Or say, maybe some question be or say, Jesus Christ and I say, yes, a better no. Yes, no, say no. Oba se nipa enipa hu ni se nipa ne se obetrem or the body na betrem or the anaso or the day na betrem.
All right. Yo say obia se Yesu Kristo oba se nipa o nipa yes but Kristo som anase Bible no emu nkyerɛkyerɛ anase nam ensemu isisi ye ne friends nkyerɛkyerɛ o mo de ma Bible omo kan ya omo twotwo to ho e kire se Kristo no oyo nyame ena oba because wa ma ye nipa
okay ehwano aye wanya akase wo ye nyame dabi wa akase wo ye nyame nti wansa no wo fi so ye nyame nti no obetimi atran mu na oye onyame de a ɛsɛ so oba be ye onipa ansa na watimi atran nipa mu a wontimi ma honhom mu just oba nipa so ansa
da bia so mo ma de na ye ne ye achiye ase be
bia nya mi busa question
entinya botre ma no si it can save us time so ma no si ya you will not continue
mi nipa no ya ba obe point no me pese me
wa me nipa ontimi nyi nipa you have to become man so that he can save a man. So okona your friends a fish egu ensuo mu a na fish na bre na fish no omo wo situation bi mu a so person obo omo pa in their situation you turn to fish then you help them in their situation Because one turn into fisher, you never know. And to obey any part for a reason. So, until the home, or case yes, until by your body, the home, and the Bible can be said, the spirit of God, the spirit of Christ, the spirit of whatever. The spirit is a creature to one or two, and whom the two. That is what it explains.
Apostle.
Yes.
Me pacho me chia atiefo nyina me sa mama akwa babio me pese me pon me nipa na oba be change me 10 minutes stand no me pese me ye me conclusion obeba se si anti me pese me ye me conclusion kakra bi enti no akwa fa so a meka ne se ya dawe ye nyina obi ase obi adwenche ode ba eye eboa yen eye adesua ne yesua se de bete ne ma ase nti obi adwenche no me se eye eto asomu na emom nipa no de metimi aka ne se nipa ye ma spirit a eti emu no nkasa nkyere ye dan more than say oba mu obi spirit akasa akiro if he said ye ma me kasa no on by oba ba bi wo twese ni mu a me ma quotation but twese am na say what do obonsam ebeto afiase emfiapem when den beto onyankopon chese onyankopon wo do obonsam to den beto fiase emfiapem na ye ne a ye bedi na chi se me am gi achinyi a ya bone no ye de ye beko internal life internal fire chese ye ko oja se ye mu a ye kwa akotena ho anase se ye ko wuo eti no which means that still cry onyankopon da so da edo Satan ache me. It is a Jesus is the Yankopon said the whole Canada. Any me person would tell us still yes what do Satan tell because watching no the two fiase ne fiapem was say jam dear. Na me asa or no was or mama yes no. A moment was sunny by us or baby say woman no one me was say we are was hard the me a fiase for life dear. And yana ya badwene ho mienu. Eto so biem se de oka se wo ye nyankopon no ho kakra na mpese me correct o on se mre bi obonsam ko awu nyankopon ho akwaji permission ansa na okwa akoso Yesu akoso Job ahwe akwaji permission ansa na okwa akoso Job ahwe ena akire Yesu no so sa ba asasi so obonsam na sa akotest no after 40 days fasting ho no mo so na ho no osembe na okan oka kire no se so oye onyame ba eti ye Christopher no anasa Christo no maye bi pen maye transasi so njaji se Yesu ye Nyankopon because obonsam ni cheye obonsam ne na wosoro Bible no ba bi ka che ma Yesu no abie na no ka che say this man was once in the light emre bi atwam no ka ye ho eti Yesu kura no a confirm say obonsam no ho ye ni nua eti obi nim ni nua and what you did in this is the main problem. I mean, say, I'm a Christopher, no, you're confused. Kakra was, Chinchin, a person, your force say, yes, to me, Yaman or Dan, who buy. It's your passage, just say, Yanko Poncha Bonsam. I won't maybe or call Nintan, I quite give permission free in the whole job, and some also job. I what they are perfect, or quite give permission, their Christopher in IGD. Koso Job hwe yi Nyankopon sa de ne nipa ene na japade ma no ande Christopher ogidi but obeso Yesu hwe wa ha no o kan kire ne se wo ye onyame ba ho no de ya o mete ho still ye de be hwe ho no se Yesu no ani Nyankopon e ya sense be we de ye consider wa wo pe wo be fa se de me kan se nyina
exactly me fa kakra bi kan de wo kan no bonsam no ye angel
tamasi bebre se ne obi anya aso tie ensempa ye de aba obi ade baaye awurade nkan ho bia na otwese na ebehia sese no me nipa no wayi ni timahu so onam me hwe camera mu mahu so wo banti ese me wie nya sa wo be report me se mete ha na me ye ko sa na wo mtie wo nya hu so kasa pe na wo ma report ntimi damasi bebre right
yo ya da so ba de nana na mote ne kan ono ne de esinti o so oko na asa na apostle be ya no na me hwe de wa gwade na ekire mu no obonsam ne Yesu a na ese be de to politicians e o Ghana NDC ne MPP na je say MPP enim NDC pa NDC so enim MPP pa me da say yanko apostle fire ko
so bonsam no eye a friend say angel. Who think I say Jesus ni opposite any bonsam. Bonsam ye angel. Na Yesu no. Ega so nyame a. Na ozo he say yes also we have something we call Trinity. Nyame Agya, Nyame Oba, Nyame Onkonkron. They work hand in hand. Enu nti nye sɛ bonsam no nka wɔsɛ nkɔbusa sɛ woyɛ onyame a na ɔtɔ bonsam busa sɛ woyɛ onyame ba a so ɔyɛ onyame ba a he is God. So ɛnyɛ hɔ nkwa, there are so many incidents they refer to him like that. Nti bonsam no nyɛ ne opposite ɛne ɛfrɛ si Yesu. Bonsam deɛ the opposite ebetumi de atoto Michael, angel Gabriel, ebetumi de atoto wɔn. But nye ne tipen ɛne Yesu Kristo. Ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔbɛyɛ nipa a nko ntumi kura approach no. So it happened for a purpose. Yeah. Nti deɛ ɔka no deɛ sɛ kyɛnkyɛn a yɛpɛ sɛ yɛde Yesu Kristo yɛ nyame no. In the what happens in the Bible no Emma the biameka Bible ni da Nyankopon di. Na what Bible talk about God? Maybe me say bia it talk about God about a bit me adanyame di am yehu ni be 50%. Maybe 50%. Until there are more of God that even the Bible did not talk about. Until kakra ye nimno die yenim sɛ nyame no ɛyɛ baako but ɔda ne ho adi mmiɛnsa ne honhom ne ba ɛne agya nti deɛ Bible no kakra Bible no da n'adi mi yehu no and from the Bible no deɛ saa ne yehu but no kanye problem but deɛ ehu sɛ Kristo no honhom tu mu a it guides you to do obiara wɔ wiase biara no is controlled by the spirit that lives in the person. The spirit that lives in the person. And how you see Jesus is how it makes you. So you see him as your savior. But it's only then you see him as anybody, a prophet, whatever. But the moment it will also change your life.
Yo, that apostle as na ansa na papa ebeba no yenko onua Kofi so na se obi kan na oma na no nko ansa na papa Smiley so abeteki over na afi no odi dwumadi no abewe. Yo, onua Kofi so what me kan yenko.
Hello, brother Ras. I say me the most of the time biana BTS topic we are not because a church and never be brave from everybody's background. So and so OBTA were outsider definitely Osuadie from the year Kenya. Now we say brother Apostle Enso Abba, and unfortunately mention that name in the background into I'll just ask a simple question. Mr. Apostle, me pacho wedi boko. Pacho ufi din edise.
Me that is what I think say me ano sa apostle. Omodi amama papa mo na.
Yes.
Eno mama apostle. Me can be as a me apostle. Me nye obia.
Unya okay.
Me apostle, me nye obia, but chinchina go say omo ebefro apostle.
Okay.
So omo ana ebeji nipa ya na omo aye no papa, omo aye no bishop every day. Odi hu iska na omo san be kase. See a page about my God said me a friend Benjamin Boache BB.
Okay, BB Benjamin Boache. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because with him.
Last time now we were talking on the platform, ain't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And some your ancestors are kind of always in the press. So unim will be a very easy say over a misplaced assumption of the person, and I say a judgment, because all along, for the past 2 weeks or so, I have this assumption. So we are apostle. So I was even going to ask you. So, oh, dear, sorry now, and I said, well, sorry, Dean Benawati. What is the name of your church, for example?
Me near sorry. Nah. I think that I've been now me organ and me call Assemblies of God. But
okay.
I think that me bahano like been me work hano different because a general because a Pentecostal church. Once your Catholic church, your Pentecostal church, and hano or more as a Pentecostal church in the area now one. It didn't also say be a band to my Pentecostal church, so I belong to this one of these churches now. But I think that they are because I've been to Assemblies. Me to me, because for now, no, I am a member of Assemblies of God because for now, no, I can also say there are a lot of things I don't agree with them. But me quite sorry say. It's a long story, but I think say me a member of a church here.
Okay.
But that is not a problem. You know, baby, I make no say you can't use them or I make a TV.
Matthias,
yeah.
Just like all of us, it's already topical baby. I see it here, Oh, thank you. Yeah, because me too. Say what can be yeah, very, very, very significant. Say Bible no and yet man can so more can in a womb, and there are a lot of things in so a woman and shada and yet and papa so and yeah, dear me deeper into in my own assumption and let me feel say abia or a strong practicing religious person, but at the same time you are saying this then you're not the typical Christian who is fixed on dogma. So there is some critical thinking behind your religious philosophy. So and then me say this man Oka and Nema is so amazing, but at the same time just one or two BIA perhaps, as I said, you explain it, and again, no, the mechanic said they be those kind of information, no, and knowledge, or maybe access to some knowledge in a very difficult process. There was a lot of pain and also a lot of fortune. So and then maybe a minimum, but at the same time, no, as I said, BTA on your corner or Casano for me to know how they are thinking at present. So one a lot of questions in my head and we say do you believe say there is a heaven and hell as you are right now? Do you think say there were heaven and
hell? Yes, of course there is. I believe so. Because what I know is I believe now say last time when we were talking about belief, and yeah, sometimes no na I say encophobic and near maybe and I make say I say we can't say nay or be own dream and question. So you can say obi believe or they think they not people almost say common sense. Now, do you believe say Akufo-Addo na president and say we know say Akufo-Addo na president? Now 21st century, Nana Sikana Kansas. We have to know we don't believe. They come to say who be na just say who believe. And one and then they but before we believe you have to know. And knowing we also know from knowledge. Say obi be doctor. Osua book ne as wo doctor he know. Short yes, and to know something, it comes from a lot of things. Then you believe, yeah. And one thing is that we come to believe that the soul of a man has two places. Say, soul no appear before God. That is the heaven that they want to talk about. When your soul appear before God, that is when your body depart from your soul. It is something that will be intimidating for him. And the soul, no, I believe, say, you soul, no, engu. The soul of a man does not die. So the soul have a place that it will go. And two places. Either it appear before its maker, his maker, that is God. And that is what you're talking about, heaven. So yes, people say that you will be see if dina you could see na or the former you go near the identity. I say what kind of guys we are making fun of it. I said because Opes will make it open to make its point. But what we are talking about, your soul will appear before the presence of your maker. That is heaven for you. Then that the soul now on your heaven appear before the presence. Then it appears that it will be punished. That is why we're talking about here. No be cancer. That one, that place now that we call hell, no, it was, according to the Bible, it was made for the devil. So the devil cannot be exempted from the place. It was something achieved before. So, there is obonsam, you made obonsam, and so ordinary to baby. Now, baby, ordinary to no, or no, they are it's not. I believe that there is heaven and earth, hell, no. But yeah, not the way I for describing, and a manner is so funny.
Matthias here, oh, thank you so much. You know, yeah, not a bit my cup for now. Thank you. So yes.
All right. Onya Kofi yedase na papa se wo ho a em se umre no yesa asu.
Ras me wa hana ye nua ba ko nso abam se earlier on na ofabodi e wo so but bi a wanhu no ohun enti Vorgan enso abaso ye ma Vorgan akwaba na ono nso asem na ye kan ebusa ne bi na kakra obeka no ye sure so wongusu ankasa no na medu fie na eja ya round up kan but Vorgan kasa na so say wo question mi di mana na dia mana ene Vorgan o bra Vorgan
mo munia mo bi ache nyame adumo.
Good. And you call a salvation part 2 eso, right? And then now what you try when we know open can be a bon como. Now or can be was say the only salvation for you is your evolved soul. The only salvation for you is your evolved soul. Now when we say Jawodi about God, you know, religion, say you hold a very different view altogether. And as someone opening can ye saying our dream or see the only salvation there is your evolved soul. Morgan, it's you.
Evolved soul no contest man or the two say the soul be saying evolve in which way?
Now, an evolved soul is a soul that is more godlike, right?
Yes.
That is the definition of an evolved soul. And the more your soul becomes godlike, that is what salvation is. No.
But this all, for me, this all goes to confirm the confusion around this religion and all that. Like I said last week, Just like you had a conversation, I also had a conversation with somebody, and the person was like, "Enti mo se mo nyame no, or not too many crown. Why must humans spend our entire life fighting the devil if God, who created all of us, including the devil, with the blink of an eye, can shut the devil? Why must human beings spend our whole life fighting against the devil to get some salvation?" Like you rightly said in the beginning, I hold a totally different view when it comes to religion and salvation. Why? Because in all my life, bibi sunkumbi NCR, I can say it's more spiritual than natural. I mean, ultimately, I can say major. I can say there is some form of spirituality and some heaven and some God that I have to associate myself with. So far, I was born into Christianity. Along the line, I did Islam too small. But today, you can't preach to me on any of them. Why? Because send your common sense for the canon. Offer Bible, no, now for Quran, now share a moon sem. Now the tutu abrabo mo be say eye niama etme guide o ma o abrabo no senia oni unua betna no matetena mu ye wo ne yo ne unua no enkofa nta wa bia ma onkowia na de onkofa na de onkoyeye no na so Bible ni Quran no church niama we nyina but Bible ni Quran no ayera in so many ways. The same person I argued with asked me if we all abhor polygamy this much, we all abhor fornication and all that much, then Christianity itself is a big lie because Jesus himself was born out of wedlock. So what are the Christians talking about? Mary was betrothed to Jesus. She went sleeping around, came back with a pregnancy, came back with a baby, and we've Godinized it all these years and made it seem as if it was a spiritual baby. There's no spirituality anywhere. All my life, I haven't seen any human being gotten pregnant without a sperm, be it artificial, be it whatever. Not just human being, every living creature which needs to reprocreate needs a sperm to do that. You can't do it all by yourself. So they should stop this whole story of Jesus Christ and salvation. It is not there. It is not there. We try to let them convince us. When I come, I don't try to argue. My argument is always try convincing me so I will accept what they are saying. So far, they have not been able to do so. Christians, Muslims alike, whoever, they have not been able to do so. So this salvation they are preaching, for me, I have to enjoy my life here on earth. Wherever I die, wherever I'm going when I die, I have no idea. That cannot be my business. Just like I didn't know where I was coming when I came to Africa, when I was conceived and I landed here. That wasn't my headache as to where I was going. I can't be crying about that now. And spending my entire life in some church. No. Salvation in the meaning they have to convince me. Christians and Muslims will have to convince me again.
So now Bogan said you can in my we answer ja ya hwene ya soro so. Would you say Bibi a wo wiase bia e wo purpose there?
Pepe.
Would you say Bibi a wo wiase bia e wo purpose?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And what is the purpose of life? The life that you have as well. Yes, you see, the purpose of life that you have as well.
Those who wrote the Bible and the Quran have tried to put life into a purpose just because of, like I said, experience. Now, creation, how does creation come about? Let me go and start from creation. Offer a boy bears, like I'm saying, sperm comes together, they are all water. At a point, the water is separated, it becomes solid. This is how creation is. This is just about how life comes about for me as a human being. This is how I understand creation. Creation comes about like this: either an egg or a sperm or whatever is fertilizing what, it comes through water and solidifies later. And on the actual Bible say creation of wine, and Jesus the wine. It's a story for me. Now, back to your question. If everything has a purpose, then what is the purpose of life? Like they have also said there, the Bible says, "Go ye and multiply." If you look at, let's go beyond human. Look at animals.
I mean, if a Bible and Casa, what if a Bible not to change it? As an individual, what is the purpose of life? The life that one.
And I make a comeback. Me fa neoma tro Bible no. Na me hwe my brabo. Na me hwe mmoa. I get to understand that yes, indeed, we are here to multiply and continue our gene and continue life. Better our gene, better our lives. It's not anything else. We are here to keep life going. That is multiplication. That is why they say, go ye and multiply. That is all we are here for. The rest is how we live with each other. Multiply, and that's all. There's nothing here again.
The purpose of life, I see about women.
Asa, training who will be a can be a mean. Watch the documentaries on animals. When it comes to mating time and reproduction, you see the seriousness with which every living creature attaches to giving life, giving another life. That is all that life is about.
And so openness one fulfilling the purpose of life.
I can't say it's an individual choice. Wow, person obey no, they say own person obey. Bibi obi wo won so bibi besi ni kwan a won ti menye nti no de obi a ne de.
And that is why I want to understand. So we ba let's say be enti so when me anwo ba one fulfill the purpose of life. Yes sir.
Ono and continue on the gene, but the purpose of life others are doing it. Ono the gene no dey continue life no. Ono ne den kan others be amano.
But no person in there. One fulfilling the purpose of life. Yes, sir.
One better. Yes, one better.
Okay, all right. Mema Kofi dance so abamu ewo bia ye dru sisi ehi. Kofi.
Yes, sir. Vorgan.
Yes.
Vorgan. Charlie, Vorgan, I beg. Yeah, you don't mute here.
No, I know they're on mute.
There's my G. Bro, listen, you can probably tell from my voice, the whole week I guess on flu beat, so I've been very low. But as you come here right now, as you speak, I don't know whether it be your voice as well or just your energy and stuff, Charlie. Me too. I just say, my ears all start to prick up to what you're saying.
Respect,
man. Naya, respect, bro. And thank you so much, Papa.
I'm going to try and interact. I don't know.
Casa. I don't say Papa won't make a talk, but Casa and I'll just be keeping it.
You'll be Mama, brother, bastard child. Almost say, oh, your savior. Oh, yeah, savior.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, savior.
And audio Kofi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, who said also for Penny Melchizedek, right?
Thank you so much. You know what? I know. I'm going to say this because Vorgan is here, and they say once somebody similar in thoughts to yourself comes around, it's easier to sometimes just say things because no matter what, one person will take it on board. Papa, the main focus should be on who we are, who we truly are. All the talk, all the explanations, everything, it boils down to one thing. Who are we? Okay? Now, like my brother said, water, and then water separated, and then it became word solid. From there are many kingdoms. We have the mineral kingdoms, we have the plant kingdom, we have the human kingdom, and we can say we have what? Maybe astronomical kingdom. When I say astronomical, I'm not talking about star signs. I'm talking about what happens in our environment on a day-to-day, on a weekly, on a monthly, on a seasonally and annually, which we can call the solar system. The moon, the sun, light and day, they all influence us. Somehow, like Brother Vaughan is saying, many people tend to forget that part of nature, the one that is naturally happening, where we have no influence, where explanations and logic doesn't matter, and yet the answers are there because it's nature. So we were born into life. Many people have lived for generations and centuries and whatnot. Nobody has ever seen the devil, and nobody has ever seen God. Okay, and yet we have taken either one man's word or a couple of people's words, such as a person called Jesus, Muhammad, or religions called Christianity and Islam. And we've created such a wonderful world, so much that there is so much beauty in this world. And I was being sarcastic there. Our world is full of issues, problems, and at the same time, is full of immense joy. These two energies are living amongst us. So, Papa. And as such, though, something that is so obvious that we have to always observe, and we can classify them into what Vaughan is saying, science, just nature, water, solid, just the process of creation in a natural way as we have seen. And we'll realize that the only thing that creates life is even a feminine energy. We've placed so much energy on a he. And most of us, as we were speaking on this program, until Brother Vaughan came in and reminded my brain, we've used he says, God says, and it's always a reference to he. And yet, when we really forget about the Bible, Quran and everything, and we come to how am I going to get my wife pregnant? It involves what he said, sex. We are here to create. We are here to have sex. We are here to multiply. And unfortunately, like Brother Vaughan said, some people will not have children as well. And their genes may cease to exist. And yet, if they really trace it biologically, you realize that no gene ever expires, because even if that person doesn't have a child, they may have an ancestor somewhere who has a cousin or an auntie or an uncle. So the gene will always live on, meaning God or creation never dies. That's immortality. And I'm saying this so deeply because Brother Vaughan is here, and I know say he gets exactly where I'm trying to go, because I totally agree with the man. It's all in nature. It's all in sex. It's all in the process of creation. It's all in philosophy. It's all in science. It can even be found in maths. The trinity of life is a simple thing: proton, electrons, and neutrons. If a person can go beyond a certain understanding, you even get to see God purely as science. And then you see how magnificent you are and I are. So again, it comes down to who we are and what we perceive ourselves to be.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Kofi, you better ask.
And also, Batali, I will catch up plus up another time.
I know. So mobile catch up. Mobile catch up. Yo, I'm say, my kid said I could call. My kid call. Yo, when we be our home, so Pedro. Pedro. Oh. Edi me say me fa brofo na ne nka so. Hello Pedro. All right, Pedro te hono mo e. Na obosomfo. Kwame bosompem. Kwame bosompem oh. Hey. And nze is yankrofo mi no. Anyway, yemfa no nto hono mo e. Na Apostle. Apostle.
Baba.
Hey. Say asema organ can see ketu ebu ho ne yenko. Wo say ya ba wi ase say ya mawi ho.
I think so we are to me in the chain because on no 90 as you know. So yeah. Said the engineer can say friend say we can revolve in asemi. Said the o minimum na minimum wa mi be hu wa I say me hu. I could see say you are also revolving.
Evolving,
okay. You say yeah, revolving call. But if you say you bet me a revolving call, yeah. I don't think so. Be bet me a convincing by words. Or be bet me a preaching a convincing no. And nipa bebre nyina no. Nipa bebre wa nye preaching a convincing you. Be me no, the na minim, the mabehu, the me hunu no is different. And sometimes you know, knowing here we have a divine friends and knowledge. Divine knowledge brings with me a fall in my own. And what is this on the way of TSA? And I preach so many Bible no. And nipa bebre so TSA differently. So enti the obedience say obey Christo near it will get you some power to acquire wealth in this world. A bit me aboa mo nya sika we say Bible say me papa ne bo wi ase ntino sika na dwete ne de ntino you must get. And they also believe say through giving much offering in the church, it will help them to get. And they are on that side and also no edo problem bebre nti obi nso hu say na me kra za me nkwa asore esu me osika me wa hoto me wa simi dan me on beka. So is Christianity necessary? And so you see that you cannot convince this person what your understanding of Christianity. So mawoba ozo ye Kristo ni zo ozi nyame ne bo ni power bompa yesa azu nyaba. So two things it does not fana point. But what we are talking say conservation, we are talking about our soul after this life. In this life, Nadia, we are all going through. I have to do hard working to get my money. I have to do hard working. I have to learn to. So once I now basically save you what total near my these are all these things. Nikwa say we put yes.
Mr. Voga, I'm so baby. I mean, bisa question about it. But your soul and one near way.
Your soul. Yes, the soul is where you. Your soul, the little bit that concerns the soul is where you. Enipa is comprises of body, spirit, and soul. And the kambo emawe nipa. On say emaye down so from emwa ni sa na ema ni bi. Emwa ni soul. So emaye down so na say woni ebia doctor nurses ne say ana say wajina obi bewu. Most of the time it shows obi bewu aka semama nipa na wu na one jina ne nchen pen na hu de wi nipa ni wu timi say there is something strange say what do you pen
one more pen
me mo pa aha kra me wo enkoko kakra
enkoko de omo yare a yenta hu between the time omo yare ne seriousness the time omo de that. But when you have goats, dogs and cows and all that. And no, especially with dogs. I don't know, maybe someone say soul in the way, because you talk about soul and spirit, and you say animals have spirit, they don't have souls. But I know I hear my dogs dreaming. You see, the way you, when you being channel or some diano kasa or no, I send you out. When my dogs sleep, sometimes I hear that or as or yeah, growl back small in their sleep. Is that their soul that makes them do that, or their spirit?
I think it's a dream got to do with our mind. Nipa yadwene and that the body sleep adwene na. And the things that dream got to do with adwene.
So it is the brain rather, not some form of soul. If you ask me.
All right, but you can further do some friends say research and see man made up of what. I think it's a lot of philosophy and say a lot of before also agree to this. Say man is made up of body, spirit, and soul. But I don't know. Many person will be I said the old business so anyway. You who say Jana baby, who is but you who is any pedria, me so anti Obi ani do ogidi. And it's all who Nazo who say, oh, you what he has said, they so no. So I was trying to draw your attention to a little practical thing, but just no, it happens say be a one who be paid. Nazo what to be paid, and I'll say any pay woo now to me that something happens. Sometimes something happened for you to know that no. It's sometimes no be different cry from only penny be at the moment now. A little time when the body and the soul is departing now, there is something happen. BBC it not sometimes will be a nurse, will be a doctor, ne, will be a more men say nipa bebree be a wu ahoma so wo hu bi pe. To me say there's something happen nipa no hu bibi anaze or something happened to could see say yes so be wo we. So enti I said the Canada abi ono ni so oni ni say nipa so and it will giant obi ane di oyidi nti when you come to say a cancer revolving is studying is experience in life also teaches us something. And as we are going on, and I say, so far as we are still living, maybe you come to that point or not.
Okay. Yeah. All right then. Thank you very much.
Papa,
Kofi.
Papa, sorry. Yes, regarding the word soul.
Okay. All right. Just briefly before we round up.
Yeah, just a very brief one. Yes. So I actually wanted to relate this in a long way with Vaughn, but later on we'll do that. So yeah, the word soul is just it's made up of 4 words, SOUL, and then at the same time there is another word which is spelled SOL, which is soul. Okay. We all know that at the beginning, and again, I think everybody believes and understands this, that at the beginning there was darkness, right? He says that in a book called Genesis. Gene, actually Genesis, when you look at it and break it down, it means gene, Gene, and then SIS. Okay, one day I will elaborate on that. But yes, at least in Genesis, it says there is darkness and then light. Light came, right? This light eventually decided to multiply itself and it became all things. And it is the light which is what also shining through us, through our eyes, through our teeth, through our voice, and through our breaths. Okay, so you can even see that the breath is also related to the soul, the life, the energy, the pulse that is on our wrist. Okay, so SOL means the sun, and the sun what obviously gives us a lot of light and a lot of air as well. When there is sunrise, there's a lot of wind which comes from the east. And if you observe this between the hours of 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., just that 1 hour period, you always see that there's a gust of wind from the east between that time because the sun is rising. So the same thing, the same way the sun gives life or supports life on earth is the same way our light within is also giving us life. So soul, S-O-U-L, is the English spelling of soul, which also is Solomon, soul man. So soul just basically means light of the sun. You understand? So I know that if there's any scientist here, I know they can put it all together and understand. Thank you. That's all I wanted to add for now. Thank you. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kofi Danso. Rasby, what can you be at the best as one?
Okay.
Okay. I'm Mr. Ras no, and then Vogan. Fafana where the bread. Why?
That's because of Ras.
Rasa, and you swing to know. Oh, Fafana where the bread.
Okay. So on this issue of salvation, say Christians, if you believe so much in salvation and you believe so much in what the Bible says, and you believe so much in Christ, I believe when I was reading the Bible, I was told that with faith, I can move mountains. I have tried to let Christians enlighten me to sort of go back to what is being preached. Mr. Apostle, Mr. Wedi, Apostle keeps saying that send your may kasan on to me, says on obin to me preaching me. Why can't it be so? Because with faith, you have the faith. You are the Christian. You have the faith. You believe in it. And you should be able to do it. It shouldn't be a difficult task trying to let me understand what you are doing and bring me closer to what you are doing. Because your Bible gives you the ultimate power to do all that. Bible now say a woman. I don't see Christians put it to use for me to want to venture into it. Apostle said, I expect
a little. I think say make us say obintimi convince you. Oh, the thing is that many GDN say Bible is say ainsa and obi sakra na adwene no. The first time me can say mamu obi sakra enya me doing you know. Because from the look of things, no ansa na wo betie you know, you've made up your mind. There are certain things assemble from experience. Makana bia 10 times and so still the person hold on to the view now okutan dada. And it is not my doing, but a adwinimu and a home wasem. So ain't say because ye Samson in when we are young, we also but one day it just happened to you. Obi in Kenya me it just happened. But say open near my beach me at Tenase. Now yes fano from that is if you want to understand. Yeah, now you baby say the also adano ninya needing. Obizu ada udiminyane no ono ne so ada. How can you waking the person up? But
the Bible gives you the power to behave like God.
Power power no.
Also, you were created
I don't have the power to make
it
that
image, and you can do all things in His image.
Yes. Oh, you see that misunderstanding. No, the power is not with man. He decides to do. So be ya resolve me mom pie man, me bomb pie man, nyami na me san yade. So nyami pa obesan yade. So people think that the power is with man.
No.
Nipa
I
no
understand.
power
No. When I say that, I don't. I mean, say power no own nipa munsem. But the Bible makes me and you understand with faith.
Yes, the thing is that that is why.
But power na anyone no. With
Mhm.
faith and believe. Nyame de be ma ama o de aye. Sa nyame de be ma ama o de aye sa nioma na e wo se wo de ye. If with faith and believe, and the Bible naturally says, when you believe, you can do it. So why can't you believe that you can convince me, even though my mind is made up? The Bible gives you all that power. If anybody can do that, I will believe the Bible, because then you are going beyond me, my reasonable thinking. I'm not messing the piece and more kind of mean no. Bible na say obetimi move mountain. Odo be move sa etimu pona me mesi no efri ho na ne wo ka no atomasum. Na say oguso ka say you have the faith, you have the belief, but you still cannot do this. Then how will I be convinced to move to where you are?
The me no na me say I will speak. I will on because program because I can decide not to come because Obia understand. But I also think say maybe I can share something for somebody to think around, to think about it, and it can prick so you can overseek understand. But the conviction, the thing is the conviction, the conviction. The conviction is but the conviction, the fact of the matter is that the conviction is not with me. Me metimi amwati asem no. Metimi akasa amwati, metimi no atranse a discuss. There are some people who timi no omu kasa na omu abuso omu so sometimes ono akasa no ono zu kofi aze ade no zo eba reflect no obisa no question, then he come to understand the conviction ebeba. So ebu obene no be kasa ne onti ase china mo se ono ode wanya conviction no. But me no nyamna me conviction me de metima ye no mekasa say you can move mountain because that is why I go be you fit idea I was a nipa ye no was ye de you fit into no or the Bible ko gina was you tie mo ma de na change. But
Exactly
have to do
my point.
What was all doing
Exactly my point.
But we
Bible
but the can answer at the end can you whom can you they are talking about soa will be for the new we are talking about appearing to God that will be uncle hopan and as will be say me call nyame ho ma ba ne ade. So we are talking about spiritual things. We can do a human being, we do our physical things and the debate maybe, but whom near money unyamism. Ain't he conviction idea? Yamina me convict, but bet me no akasabe pre. May I may tolerating kofu be pre, meaning kofu be pre kasa. And kofu be pre, they are very stubborn. And so I always one day they come to me and I say I open discussion with them. We talk. Ain't he they can become convicted.
But power now Bible they make Christians no.
Power.
What then can they use it for? That when you have faith and you believe you can move you can move mountains, you can do this, you can do that. What then can Christians use it for?
What is the power? Power no who is it saying?
And no, he say it is in plain language. It says with faith you can move mountains. Mountain, no, it shouldn't be physical mountain. Anything is a mountain.
Misano, my baby because it was a Oko India. Obi who was a Branam found try my drew. Now, or Wakasa was a one which was okay, my drone near Juma. We also abuse all power with me Kasa na BBS. That is not how what is happening. That is not what will happen. No say nyame no kra ne say ono oya ade kra ma enipa hu obetima ye bibia ma obi ehu obetima ye bibi ohu na wo aka say nyame ayisi de oye no onye hwehwe animu sa but enipa na ama na hu say omo pese omo demonstrate say mi wotumi na nyame ayim say wie yebre nyame asoma tumi odi ama ye etimi de kasa etimi etine ma bias etimi that is the maker say the me ye ni bia chechemu amede bai it's a sort of power, but the power is not that your friend is that kind of power okasa na say tutu na ebubu na ebubu but in the fact of the matter as they say the fact of the matter now because Jesus Christo yemfa Jesus Christo ai Bible no na yen kaso nyame no obaye no was he able to speak for everybody to follow him?
Oh, the Bible said
baby okasa enipa be won say maza enipa bebre enipa be 5,000 they almost efri na chikoi. A lot of people they didn't agree with him. But
that is just because the Bible is contradicting itself.
No,
the Bible itself is contradicting itself. Because if you say, even as human, I can do these things, and even the son of your God, who the person you claim to be son of God, who is second to God, couldn't do all these things. How do you expect me, human, flesh and blood, to believe that Bible can do something like that and believe it and follow it? That is where I want to understand, because Jesus no crying to me and fakasa crying to me as a sanipa. Oh na o kase si ya wenye me. Enti and the Bible also mameti as say you will be able to do plenty things as a Christian. You can speak to the devil, you can speak to what? You can cast the devil. If you can cast devils as a Christian, why can't just you talk somebody out of his mind? Because you can cast the whole devil.
From this point, who said, the way Uncle Fuamu ati Christo Sumas in Entina a trouble. Power no Bible no. Oze Ubu no of 5 no dia 2 be 3 say o to be. Bible no. It is not said to me womu. It me to me who they were, and yet to me asemo. It say I don't know how to put it. So say to me I was one more to me no. Say me I mean to we are me ye me Christo near me see Christo home to me mo. Say ever so be so ye comfort or by for on also I work home be a home no so tini. Me je ono no sani pano. Ontimi emeseme ontimi fan emmame ho ontimi emfane tumi ne enwo overcome me tumi obetimi antics but ontimi ono me kura no me hu say bibi ewo me ho a e fight against that person. I will never know. Me kura me
about all them ntia so ntia esan say won so unjin ne wo no ye ni enti no take enti na ono ne de no nya effect wo so no.
Maybe so, that is how you understand it. Enti ye to me Christo to me no enti said de a friend is a comfort before any comfort omo some to me be omutimi command here you know. De ye mu hu no abonten comfort ye ne de gimmicks bi no omo here yo. Any antics bi no omo here it does not work like that. So, enti ye to me and your media no, and yes, I to me uti jina baby as me kwa ye, enti me chio bia now who no betutu. Naze obi metiname say obi intime chiame, me tia baby obi intime my hobby, there be. It does not work like that. And yet,
Duncan Williams, Munyan and Namo Cherry, it doesn't work like that.
Oh no, say, or say. Who we a Christian will be who will be Ghanaian as I say.
But all of them preaches the kind of power the Bible gives and autonomy.
And I make a choice that power now Bible, but power and autonomy now Bible ne man.
And I say nye Bible na de ma nyame asem na atena wo so that power na so to say and no enye and display for people to know and displays are said the comfortability to me be display no to me to make kasa na say you to me to make kasa na say it does not display like that.
Okay. To me side, no one say it doesn't work like that from today.
Yes, it does
me
not
and you, we agree that as the Bible says in that context, it doesn't work like that. Now, yeah.
Okay.
Brother, I have so many things which I agree with Brother Bibi, you know. Sir, he said so many things where Charlie is he say, the man.
We are understanding each other. Understanding it, we will understand each other. You see, we've made religion. I have always said that the religion, but Bible and Quran are very beautiful books. They are moral guides. They guide you to living life and living it well, as your neighbor will love it, and how you yourself you should live it. So moral guide, I agree perfectly. But the spiritual aspect, that is what he himself is saying it doesn't work.
Yes.
But you see, that is where I want us to understand. That spiritual aspect they are attaching to it. That is where they have to understand that, no, that part is a story.
Thank you.
One thing is that I always tell some people, say, Christopher knows that, said they are what can be say, Obi no one will be the common or say, Adentina or more a home who some will be only to me than our morning. You see, so be so a Christian now or say, me bomb some bompire when some dear me chrome by phone. I don't want to say stupidity, but a friend say it's lack of knowledge. It does not work like that. Obon no. No only so be o ye Christo ni bia no bonsam timi manipulate no but asofo no ono ka semi a me kan kire wo no ka kire wo a ebe hinfa no begina jiska hinfa na wo be ye ede na me se me ti obi me kotokoto obi nso me obi metua bibi ma me but wo ka de me kan a kire wo a wo metua ska ma no wo me kotokoto no wo me friend papa wo me friend no bishop wo me friend yi because who is there also omoka me na me ya sorry me na me bishop mwada no na me honhom me di mamo na me di oboa ono wada so Christo ni papa ono so honhom e bo honhom the same thing e bo no honhom so enti omono they don't want to tell you say a thing does not work like that in this bread life say we are adwuma na nkoso a we are Christo ni uye nipa ubetimi aye adwuma enkoso ubetimi akoye exams ube fail because uye nipa so wo asua de ube fail
baby
and the things are uhia say wo acquire say uye adwuma na enkoso a go to some bright places obi a business go and seek knowledge to come and do your work uye Christo ni u drive unnecessary stupidity ubetimi anya accident uwu a ubetimi akọ heaven. And until they are certain the spiritual things, it is God. Onyame anonim honhom ade. Se me bedai so obisi or okuta honhom. Na obeba ode ne honhom beba fie ha be bibia. Me amada. But nyame honhom no ebe ye adwuma ma no. Ene ne be di asie. Ba me kura me hu me nte ho ma ache. Bible say me nyankopon no na ontonko. Ti de na me say why should I be awake? I have to sleep because no, so you keep on telling my friends that spiritual things belong to God. Handle the physical things and stop in a spirit and a home be but Christopher, we are not be any problem. Oh dear, do what you have to do. Na jai spiritual na honhom bi na baifo bi ade ati na ezo osuru baifo ye Kristo ba so fo ne ka no kure we kire wo a onfa ne sika onfa sika nkoma ne bi do onka
baby
the problem
That means, Charlie Bibi, in a way, no, bro, you are actually totally against a lot of the biblical practices. Then, what your name?
My brother. It is not biblical practice. Eye enema bi a Christo som de me di kan ka jo say nkofo bebre asum Christo a without the Bible. Oh, okay. In 100 in the 100th centuries and now say AD 90 muhono. AD 90 muhono. They were Christians without the Bible.
For sure. For sure. Yes.
Bible no ebaye no.
Obi can be earlier said Torah or
what they were the Torah no krano. Those Christians, they were Torah no omu en because the Torah from the Old Testament and the Christianity came to differ from the Old Testament a bit way of worship. And unti almost some Christo no, it is some because it's a Christo ni two. Some me say no, me pia bonting. Na obi e pia me, and as obi person obome. Sometimes be am rofi or person just or no be to or high. Na me am okomni akora wutimi sisime. But sometimes no I try say am okomni akora say me ni so shimetimi. But mo say my say home na two mu. It controls the stop jai. Then I will not act as mine. That is what you are allowing the Spirit of God to lead you. It's in the Bible, it say, walk with the Spirit so that you will not gratify the desires of the flesh.
Amazing.
But if I walk with the Spirit will be and as all don't do that. But me, I mean, come petty and come so they are saying, there's Christo so many say whom Christo whom ne two moon they guide you. But when Christo so many a develop here, Roman Catholic mobile omudi eba na emodi enonzi and those some intro and a Protestants eba the Protestants they buy no no also obe reform one reform obeyi obehwe Bible nim also we ni ye we see any Ena obi nso ba ena onso obehwe Protestants so Protestants be a Methodist o me honhon say Pentecost hon konkon wo enti onso hwehwe mu no yi ena ye benya doctrines enti Christopher na e Ghana obi a Christian according to the doctrines of his church. Definitely. O ye Christ o enti oboze obi a Assemblies of God near the odisonko ena Pentecost na so the odisonko. And you are Christian according to your church doctrine. You are not Christian according to the Spirit of Christ living in you. Paul say when according to the law, I was right. I was righteous. So, and according to your church doctrines, the moment I'm free, more sorry, I call different churches. No, because say me Christian. But your friends, the Methodist, or Konkono, your friends say Jehovah Witness or Konkonopa, Saturday Church of Christ was all Konkonopa. It's according to your church doctrines. And you know, Obia Bible, more Obia doctrines, no year free Bible, and on answering money this. And you know, who did church doctrines now, more year free Bible. But they put the Christ in you, no, was a control life, no, they put it aside. And it's a church doctrine say, make me worry me, no, I'm worry me. But the Christ in you, no, I catch your Zabia, who are in me, I say, to me, share equal love, and I say, and they are divinity men, yeah. Oh, you don't listen to the Christ in you.
Definitely. But what is your idea on sex?
Yes, church doctrines make a choice, say, sorry, dear, Ubi Bo Suma body be. And to be Bo Suma be still me righteous, according to my church doctrines. Me church doctrine say Ubi says his car, me mano, because o command pay or the beko ko ye dret yaw. Enti me obedient to my church doctrines. You are not a Christian. And Christianity is not about following your church doctrines. And I say imitating what is in the Bible. But it is the Christ, the Spirit of Christ living in you. The complicated thing now, and people be brain because the propagating of the message, no, Obi kind of crash, and the crash is the most scarcity commodity on earth. So because we kind of crash, no, the name trouble room. And to be pretend to mechanical crash, we will be more money, papa, but not the on also the Ura Carabi.
But yes, who believes the Bible? No, it talks the process of creation. So at least somewhere our Bible no okay, the entire process of creation. So
yes,
so,
yes.
Thank you.
I believe that say Moses before Moses his account of how the word was created. Na obi anso akere na adwen anazo obi nso atro.
Okay.
But Moses had the idea by. But me I believe that what Moses wrote is the right one. But because of Niema Bia did to home, and I said Niema Bia, maybe I believe that what Moses wrote was the right one. But Moses no obi Moses and Gazo share the Nipanatron so and also be true. But Moses Troy Israel for no more so no go be baby. Was there a message more Moses say Yamena ye no say no it I can't create baby say both small no better no chain that you are there.
But yes, which we say process of creation of Moses
yeah. Maybe we say Moses the any right.
Yes, that is a me patch minim on any process no me patch unshare me kakra na unshare ye kakra.
Said
yes, according to Moses.
Yes, according to Moses, say because there is we are seeing a formless, nothing.
Oh, just like in Genesis,
yes, that is.
Okay. Sure, sorry, carry on, please.
Yes, it was formless, and God and they said that let us create. Say God speak. Unyame kasai, then it friends say lights by. So as the Bible say, the same thing. Like, but one thing I will see when he say everything that so last time no we can know wasem. And then one we were the DNA Maui. But we on the process now we just look at how things happen, but the total message of person the ma enipa tiase no so we take the salvation message in the whole thing no free and person interrogate the message okay. Bible also it is a literature. I hope that more be a man can your friends say Julius Caesar names those Shakespeare books.
Okay.
Bible came before those Shakespeare's near there because it's a literature. There's one maybe because those days that me bro Shakespeare book. Fine, can not note it down. Ain't
it controversial? That means in a way, you actually disagree with the Christians, from my understanding.
I believe whatever the Bible is saying.
Wow. Okay.
I believe everything that is Bible is saying.
Okay.
I believe totally everything that is Bible is saying. But sometimes on the interpretation of it, and the man near be among forces and near yes. As the processor, when you made the book, we are seeing as the Bible is saying, that is what I hold on to.
Thank you. That means Brother Bones thing about sex. That means sex has to be somewhere in the process of creation. What do you think? Yes, regarding creation. What do you think?
But I don't think say Bible cash one any kodaya. I don't think the Bible to me can say Adam ne your friend if die. Because something have or die no kind. Emra you woo ye can woo ye or say or nearly die and or some set. What kind a whole lot of Germanism be or Bible or record Germanism be. So I don't think that we quantity of work as a and or cotier driver.
Okay.
So they say, what the God wanted to display there was that disobedience happened there, but we not ye sir as the subject of the content of the dinner said disobedient fear, but we're trying to interrogate and our war kasa and away those things. Now yeah, no ever interrogate at the
All right. In fact, yeah, I enjoy nkomo no behind the scene. I enjoy kama. Enti ye be hwe na ye di nkomo no si akofi. Yeah, hwe ne fancy ase. Said ye Vogan ye no say Vogan say kakra bibi convince me nim say bibi convince
me convincing about
me say kakra on mom ne me ya adwen.
Legend.
It's Vogan what the purpose of life no who this super me boy.
Ya bad there. Ya bad there Ghana guess refer no montemas. Omon person betemas na ya bad there no answer ya bad there go.
And so far no what was say?
Oh, trepe.
Legend.
Na professor be cover say cover tenana.
Me my dream say nka me pese nka me father Africa we be amedu bia no ma oba. Me sure or brass and I dream pa na nka dam.
That's the purpose of life.
Into wait 3 ways say now what kind of enye maame ba akome bo a.
There.
Obi ane maame.
Pepe.
See, wo munyina no na tie na say obi ane maame na etie.
Ba ko kra ne menje.
So you free maame bo a.
Me dino me last name.
Liberation. Liberated.
I see. All right. I so offer body aba na oba no akọ me nim say offer mama benediction and then ya sorry so offer body o
papa mo na na say the kwa na ma ba say no kan ma ya hikakra
so enti ube kakra na say ye hwani nsori so
an oh si ade em say and mo ga asem na emete o say no a free man na oboko e na o say we dey
me ga so e dey
o ka so e bi ba na ka me me ka so e no ya bo ponche o wa na o de ama ma me no ko o sa ponche be ma bia no
Kofi na ka so e legend Kofi na so e legend
okay. Eti no award ye me sisi am 5 me pe be say ahode ne bad yan kam nya tenya kampe award ye
yes o said the Vogan kind also fulfill the purpose of life no
say me follow Bible see am dey sin no sempo anwa
okay
enti me wo na me ma wo sanity
okay all right monso mo de na yate ai said the bibi kind no obia entiase no based on na sorry a woko say the religion whichever way you want to put it right enti wontiase a obia no it is being fed by something right your understanding is me muslim missing kano opoto kasem but wontiase wo bibia mu no so ejina bibi so right enti se bibi ana obekan a right Say eba se wo interpret here, you interpret it based on something, which is your knowledge base. And on Dr. Ray Higgins, eba edin some you be see any no actually will say this is your circle of consciousness. Nti bibia obekenkan bibia obetie bia no, you usually interpret it within your circle of consciousness.
They call it the bad secretary in Kabbalah.
Okay. All right. And the best of all ways, and they say, you have to come to the awareness. It's beyond your circle of consciousness. No, there is something beyond. Bibu oho. And one more, they seek to know more or expand their circle of consciousness. No? So one more kasa, and I say, when they are having an interaction, you can feel that these people want to expand their circle of consciousness. There are some people who are stuck with the circle that they know now, or the circle of their circle of consciousness now. And he said, "Bibi, I know be can let's say we be busa a question. Now, a challenge. Be no person or challenging because
Papa me so me nka ketewa bi to de wo kan so.
Okay.
Omo hwe ne se etise osopoto kotoko, osopoto has. Anaz enti no once am support Arsenal de no an ye me change. Enye kreye. That is normal for that level.
Yeah.
But when it comes to politics, it shouldn't be like that. When it comes to religion, and I say, as someone so once someone it shouldn't be like that. But maybe at the end, you know what we are.
That's right.
And our politics is very dangerous because some people are coming to take care of your future, and as your friends, they are coming to take care of your environment. It shouldn't be like some support to support Yazintino. And a very crazy moving from one stage to another. Because some the toss Mukrana is some okay no make no credit until you're afraid. Sana mintias you in a papa and tia me for on fat on your funny circle to corny house.
That's right. And I don't know.
And no, I'll be soon the day as attitude none yes Sandy are picky for politics. Entina, we are facing what we are facing.
Yo, thank you very much, Bibi.
Papa, before you go yourself, what just for as long as you want and as short or quick as you want, what is your perception on salvation?
Okay, all right. Now, you see, this is what. Oh, this is my take, right?
Okay.
We emerged of something, right?
Yes, sir.
Maybe I free by piano, okay? We were not just dropped here, and I say, and you say you kata you need to ya near hasi. When you look at us, and when you observe us, the man, okay, you realize you say. Certainly, no, we are coming from some place. You take critical look about how even the human body operates. You look at the organs, just even take the eye, just the eye alone, for instance, and then you delve into how the eye is. You see the various parts of the eye, what the eye entails. You can see the complexity of man. You can see, say, whatever put us together no is actually a very, very intelligent source. When you see how the body, when you study the anatomy of the body, and then you see, say, every part of the body, what they do, and in fact, astonishing, mind blowing, right?
Yes.
It tells you, say, whatever we came of or whatever we emerge of, no, awesome, so beautiful and marvelous. Now, along the way, no, we miss our way as to we identifying or we coming to the realization of what we emerged from. right? And it's like utu kwai na waira, right? The process of you finding your way back en route to carry on your journey, no? To me, that is what I term as salvation. And the process, the overall process of we discovering or rediscovering our God self, rediscovering our alignment with what we emerge from, rediscovering our true self. Our true self is just we being one with baby I free by, you know.
Yes, sir.
That is all that I term as salvation. Well, who was that memory? That is me.
Further question.
Wow.
Okay.
Question.
Obi was some question.
Yes.
Further question.
Okay. Me too.
But I agree with you in all that you have said. So, but does any of these convictions make you say that you have to live the kind of life the Christians and the Muslims and the other people are preaching?
Okay. All right. This is my view, right? Christians life are omo a preaching. I would say it is a way of helping them to rediscover themselves, right? Muslims also they know yes they also want whatever they are teaching is a way of a means of trying to discover themselves, right? Now the American, I'm not forced to live the life of say a Christian, as a typical Christian, as you may label, or a life of a typical Muslim. I see God in all of life, right? And so you're Muslim, so you're Christian, or whatever. They are all secondary labels, as I put it, right? Your primary identity is what we emerge from. Now, all the secondary identities that we may have, you being a Muslim, you being a Christian, nobody was born a Christian, nobody was born a Muslim. Now, all these secondary identities, no, it is to help us move into our primary identity. And I can see something good happening in a Muslim, and I can embody it. I can see something good happening in a Buddhist. I will equally embody it. But as to say, I am restricted to this kind of religion and what have you need it. Nah, that is not the point.
Amazing. Wow, Vaughn. You see, they say wisdom flows through the question, and Brother Vaughn, your question was just so amazing that Samuel or Papa was also able to come up with a great answer. And Papa, thank you so much for answering it the way you've answered it. It actually reminds me that ultimately what we are here to do is to know who we are. As I said earlier in one of my statements, we have to know who we are, why we are here, what brought us here, and what we are. And even though we may seem separated or we may look as if we are individuals, there is one source that we all emerged from. And if that source is singular, and it has broken us all up into individuals, let's just imagine how that source would look like if all the broken parts were to join together. You understand?
Yes.
So ultimately, we are here to salvage the misunderstandings of who we are into who we really, really are.
Okay.
So rather than saying that we are Christians or we are Muslims or this person is going to go to hell, this person is going to go to heaven, and I wouldn't and he will, we should just realize that we are here to really discover who we are. And if we are created in the image of God, then let's look for the evidences that makes us that image that God is. Thank you.
All right, then, Mr. Medase. Life is a never-ending university that everyone has to complete and get a certificate. As to how long you take to complete, it's entirely your choice. Obechepa, obe defer course no sa, obe defer course no sa until so obenya certificate in free university no. Now the bottom line is, you have to finish this university, and when you finish this university now, you see allegorically no, maybe you say, ja Volgan no ko Bible mu asem kakra bi a was the Bible no ho abasem, right? So utimi university na ehɔ ne state of rest no, right? Ehɔ na agye wa home no, no agye wa home. So but until then no, obe ne nam mu obe 10 here and there. As said them kind of as wire no, you go all round. Ni nyina no, you are still finding your place to realign yourself with what you emerge from. Enti obi na kan asem wo say upie frifie na owure fi baabi a wo kwa enka wo sa kofie a eboa wo ma e kai wo baabi a wo ye de be na wo frifie a wo kɔ. Enti the best of all ways for you to get to the end of your destination as quick as possible is to find out baabi a wo free bae. Ehɔ the genesis. Baabi a wo free bae. Sa se hwehwɛ sa asem no. Fa na me free bae. What are the attributes? What are the things of where that I came from? Unya hu sa de na, it will help you to find your way home.
Papa.
Yes, Volgan.
So you see, from all the discussion we've had, we can all agree that Senior Apostle can, you know, and Senior also what defined it beautifully. Me, even from all the argument I'm making, can say, I believe there is a God. Now, I believe in as much as we are busy in life, trying to live life, we also need to look back. And like you said, the component, like Osha computer send you this sana washe nipa. And it won't so Osha send ya obiatna se no washe usia. It was so we na ye. Nemum, then yes send ya Christopher na mana yes and ya was spend your entire life.
Okay. All right.
So Nipan your share will also we na because why are they? And as I say, oh yeah, your ma and self yet tana on an internet sitting up. And also wow your share where and fatani, but it doesn't mean you should spend your entire life trying to reverence that person. I don't believe that Nipana year when you know or sign the person will appreciate you just coming onto this earth and lazying about just sitting in church your entire life.
That's right.
And as much as we want to believe what the Christians and the Muslims are preaching and say that it is not of any spiritual background, it is a moral guide to letting us find who we are and what we ought to be and where we ought to be.
That's right. That's right.
And we should be conscious in this manner, but not we should spend our entire life reverencing and sitting in church and living the whole world. Nipa no the end by you say no ama won sa oma abo atekrema o de be kasa nka onu sa onu abo an ne ji ebeje wan fa ma no de ama wo nipa se fa kasa onu nua nkasa o se ene me ne we kasa sorry for fear p the gate mo no ne nua no be konto kwa san wasan kotena nyame sorry dem so konto kwa mo nyina mo se mo som nyame no anya sa na ne som ne te e wo se ye yi na ye cause wa ye bibi e som mo se wa hyehye yen and let's say we say ye jai wi ase no so ode amaye no bible now Christopher no sign kind of class I don't remember it clearly, but there were some people who were given some money, some people invested there, somebody yes went save theirs. Ain't many sure say or the asasi we ma no or say ye betna asasi no keke ne yen say ye mo de bia ne enta sorry don ye ne yen sign sorry nko Or the antenna assassin was here, ye farm me assassin. Ye tilt oil woman. One fact, I yan somewhere near a drinking in our way and say, and say, bet now, sorry, there. And I, ye cost or young be almost 5 times a day.
I say, Morgan, you put it beautifully right. Now, maybe another time when we come, we will talk about, like I said, worshiping God, what actually it means, right? You see, many Christians praise, let's say, the awesomeness of Jesus, right? And they feel, say, when they do that, that is what makes Jesus very, very happy. But they forget, say, he himself said, it's not them that say, Lord, 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 that will inherit the kingdom, but it is those who do the will of God. And he, say, worshiping God, just before even we get into it, you know, it is your ability to put to use what God put in you. That is what worshiping God means. And it takes us back to our discussion on, or what I said on, whatever that you emerged of. Now, when you are able to use the powers, the wonderment, the beauty of whatever you emerge from for the promotion of life, that is what it means by worshiping God. Worshiping God is not like you, they say the Indian for na wapijauti, and you're worshiping God. Worshiping God, no, and say, what could you not saw them when say, Voganeka, you know. Now, when I go to washa, I say, want to the Lord, and no, worshiping God, right? All those things that we do, no, it opens up to be able to have a clear revelation of God. That is what they do. Sometimes, you know, na I was here go, some moment now was here go, so I know we can say for 10,000, and na I saw for to me Judy cash pan. On say that worship never good uncle for Musa, so then will be cast a fascinating gina big one my head in a bed, a strategy. So, maybe when we come another time talking about what worshiping God truly means now, we would understand. You can't say, or you can't keep praising your teacher, and your teacher will be happy when you go into the exam room and then you fail. Poto no I feel basa. Now math teacher, I find say oh the best math teacher. Now exam need draw hodom now went man pass the math na. Now teacher ne niaje. Ne re kura be homo. Obeka say, hey, you had me the best math teacher and you couldn't pass. I heard crowd na ko commit suicide. So
Papa, in Africa you fairly pow.
Now we will be sang and true you.
Hey, you fairly oh. I saw it there boy as
once what we do mostly in Africa is we praise our math teacher, but we go to the math examination and we fail. That is what Africans do. Instead of whatever the math teacher has put in us, no, we should be able to use it, no. When we go to the math examination now, they are failing. Kofi, and yes, I here. They are failing poto.
Oh, Charlie. But then.
Yeah, I feel me do my chair and I'm sorry. It's no moment sorry to see her. Why? I could boost our question. I'm activity so many things. You know the FNC I say now. Now we are the man.
Christopher, my failure. I said that corruption to me see Africa.
That is the problem that we have, right? We praise our math teachers, we praise our chemistry teachers, our physics teachers, but when we go to the examination, Laila, we can't pass. right?
It's like a person qualifies to go to Cambridge, and the moment they get in, they celebrate so much that they forget to learn in that 3 or 4 years, and then they come back with
That's
the
it. That's it. Third class, right? So when you be pass.
Oh,
So, wafam sa keke, right?
Because we do where we do on
you see the outcome that you put forward, indicates how good your teacher is, right? And once again, to the Muslims, to the Christians, who pride themselves in their leader, in their master, we want to see that in your outcome. That is all. As I'm not telling I know I'm not organs if you so. It's a organ who's had the no pa na. I'm sure I can have organ be cremuni and as well be Christian. And no, I don't know. So when you who's had the end there, so who's had the end there, not just who say,
na Christopher no name I agree say Bible na moral guide or say yes anko ebi.
Welcome. But mean that we into the police here or the way they say
omo nyina agya tum say moral guide. Enti yeah moral guide. Enti me say
Morgan me no nya adwin sa.
I don't know.
Was no nya adwin no.
Ananya na also spiritual aspect na anya adwuma.
Me say spiritual aspect when it's a Bible no and yes spirit be any Bible.
No na me can you.
And I just say and catch your moral guy.
Also spirit be any. No na me so dey be make me
say.
I'm say Morgan and some baby kind no be wa fan another way. What find another way. Well,
that way be.
Hey, was it? Oh, said the workers a Bible near Mura, moral guide, no one can say.
No, there be. I have always been of the view, say, yes, the what is written in the Bible makes sense. Yes, and yet, anti anymore, anti but it is only to an extent, say, a footwo, the mount say, we are say, I will buy ye, or be a ball, into ball bray, and basa. That is what we all summarize.
Morgan or Patches say,
we are all summarized.
Say Bible, no, you're trolling in a good ubifa book, no tro book or tro in a good book. So book no or Patches say, that book should possess some spirit. San or no, who know. Nipa bebre, including Chirabosom. I heard don't know kind of TV, radio say. Nipa bebre, I dream you almost a Bible was a possesses some spirit. And say a be a confobi bodia or the bow another the one mem. And I say, a confobi bosuma and I say, you could tiazo another on 9. A Bible does not possess some kind of spirit. As some no. We have written word and the word logo. Some no na to me and yet the actual book.
Okay, all right. You, Yati, Bibi, Namiadma, that's a ne, Yaba. I had it in common in the Kobe, it's all about life. And Yaba, that's a ne. Na yabe to uncle Mudian, so yabe that will be as a Kuvidanso or body and the critical thinker. Apostle, was it Matisse was say Apostle no yari e pese edition no come by your friend so our Jesus so really no Apostle
or defend the Apostle so
Papa, before you go, I want turn Brother Morgan into Muslim right now.
No.
And Alaji so
it won't happen.
You know what?
I believe there is a God.
Yes.
I believe I need to reverence him. I believe I need to live well with my neighbor. But I don't believe I have to do all that through some bastard Christ to be or some polygamous Muhammad be just like me. And the same Bible now the Christ no more to my dream more send ya wo no omode spirit be ho kan akoka honhum be ho kan say honhum bi na ye no but ono ne bakra ekwo ba na da problem we yes say na da problem. You see,
very true, Morgan. Abi, you've heard of the word Sufism, yeah?
No, educate me.
Yeah. I mean, oh, bro, that one.
It be a long time.
You and I want to lake way later on. We can look into it. Yeah. And I promise you actually end up having a more understanding of Islam than a person who reads the Quran, and that's all it is. Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Yeah, fancy. Everybody, thank you very much. You biano. You're here. Why? And then we to turn and so come. And from out. Rasby. And then yet you won't you after a very long time. Also, your twinchia, there was a pass and Oma yet you can median as son and one Papa Smiley. Now me add more next week. You have a twice. But until then. Yami Adma Ebnada, we come with a live edition of Bamaso. Hodie Nyasam Kitwa. Hodie more jet politically. But we talk about various issues also on that platform as well. Enjoy your Sunday and enjoy the week as well. In fact, the week is already good. The moment you wake up, the day is already good because the air is still breathing you. The earth is still giving you its stabilizing love, feeding you. The fires, the sun is still warming you up. And the waters are always nourishing and purifying you. So the day is good. What is left is for you to make the day better. That is all that is left for you to make the day better. And you can only make the day better when you are able to align yourself with what you emerge from. By so doing, you express love. You express intelligence and you express creativity throughout the day. And by so doing, you are making the day better and you are worshiping God. Bye-bye.
Reggie promoter a grassroots was say, I didn't go and a young son. Reggie. Agrinko in a young son. 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 That's not doing as we answer. Miko being Chessia, two rest were me Chessia. I didn't see answer. We said, eh, answer away. And she and us, I pay now to argue you. Yansa Tontoma, there be an order question. I want to know my crew. Every hour go to the water. Nanchi no man babu, we free young son to maybe. And what's any say? They did not watch you on me. And just say energy. Yes, I start for the crew. It did not watch you. Ogonanchi no macromo. Say, oh, God, you see, and so Mariam was sent. When you're deep and pro. When you're not into your pet, when you're not into your pet, it's you go on the auto. It's on your real one, and Sasa for the crew. I didn't go in your sample. I didn't go in your sample. Basia, the one you told me to man. I really got you, or see Yansa saying,